From Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, it is NBL Canada basketball action on 5TV1 this evening. It's game number 3 of the Eastern Division semifinal series between the Island Storm and the St. John Riptide. The series is tied at 1 apiece. How you doing, everybody? I'm Peter Ruckhazer alongside Gord McNeely. Glad you can join us tonight. Gord, we know this Island Storm team, they can score the basketball. They're a great shooting team, but in game 2, Coach Joe Salerno said that his team probably played their best defensive game of the entire campaign.
Yeah, they looked really good. They got great minutes out of Rashad Wack, too. And when they started to play together, move the basketball, and your defense is playing like that, I've always said this season it's about rebounding for this Island Storm team. So if they come out tonight and take care of the glass, they're at home, let the crowd do its thing, and we're going to have a good basketball game.
When you have a Gabe Freeman, when you have an Anthony Anderson, you've got a team with a lot of talent. In game 2, St. John, they shot 33%. I doubt very much that's going to happen 2 games in a row with the skill that they have on their side.
No, exactly. And they're going to play a little bit freer, I think, today. And those 2 players are former MVPs of this league. So they're going to come out, and their season is kind of starting to get on the line here. So they're going to come out and do some pretty big things tonight.
Okay, Terry Thomas did not play in game number 2. He's going to be in the lineup tonight. How much he plays, that'll be a big question for Joe Salerno and the Island Storm. We're going to take a break right now. On the other side, the starting lineups and the opening tip. You're watching NBL playoff action right here on 5TV1.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, Mom, is it okay if Sarah comes over for dinner tonight?
Yeah, as long as it's okay with her mom.
Can she?
Yeah, of course.
Yes!
At Ronald McDonald House, we give families a home away from home, close to their sick children.
What's in my hockey stick? Mine's full of fun and exploding with exercise. It's stuffed with self-confidence, packed with practice makes perfect, and loaded with leadership. I keep it taped together with teamwork. I think it's made of carbon fiber, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a big brother?
So what you want to do this weekend?
I want to go to the Canada Game Center. I want to go swimming on the big yellow slide, which goes outside.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely do that for sure.
Yeah.
Probably go bowling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids with mentors grow up to be more successful adults. Supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters is a great way to have a positive impact on your community. To volunteer or make a donation, go to bigbrothersbigsisters.ca.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Welcome back, everybody, to Charlottetown as we get set for game number 3 of this Eastern Division matchup between the Island Storm and the St. John Riptide. Let's send it down now to public address announcer Paul M. Skierman.
McManus. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the All-Star Questing starting lineup of your Island Storm. From Brooklyn, New York, out of Coppin State University, a 6'6" forward, number 24, Hakeem Ellis. From Hyattsville, Maryland, from Mount St. Mary's, a 6'3" guard, number 22, Rashad Wack. From Lakeville, Minnesota, from Augustana University, a 6'5" forward, number 5, Al Richter. From Lawrence, South Carolina, out of Marshall University, a 6'7" forward, number 11, Terrell Bean. And from Mesa, Arizona, out of Arizona State University, a 5'10" point guard, number 1, John P. Curson. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Island Storm is Joe Salerno in his 6th season. Assistant coaches Ray Benito and Jeff Morrison. The team manager is Mitch Rowley. The head physiotherapist, Colin Moore.
So there you have it, folks, the introductions for tonight's contest, game number 3. And the crowd, they're already into this one, Gord.
Oh, this place is electric. They know how to put on a good event here, this Island Storm team, and it's playoff time. We're back. The Storm haven't been here in about 2 weeks, so everybody's super excited.
Yeah, this St. John team, as we talked about in our opening, they did not shoot the ball very well. They shot 33% in that second game, and they seemed lackadaisical throughout game number 2.
Yeah.
I'm expecting they're going to be charged up here with the veteran group that they have. They want to make amends for losing game 2.
Oh, they sure do. And we got a couple new members of the Storm, I think. Look at that, Bruce Rainey and Boomer going to throw up the opening tip. I don't know how many minutes they'll play tonight. But listen, this game's going to be on fire. These teams know each other very well. They know what each other does. It comes down to defense, hard will, and work ethic tonight.
Yeah, the defense was simply superb in game number 2 for Joe Salerno's side, and that's been the focus throughout this season. They can score the basketball, they can shoot the 3, they can run the floor. Can they make stops? And they made stops in game number 2. You have a guy like Mincy. He was 0 for 7 from the field. This is a guy that shot well over 40% from the field during the regular season. And another surprising thing, from the free throw line, I mean, they were 59.2% in game number 2, and they didn't shoot very well in game number 1 from the free throw line, 42.6%. So I'm thinking that they're going to be much better here this evening. And we're underway in Charlottetown. The series tied at 1. Here's Campbell. can't get the roll. Loose ball brought down by Akeem Ellis as he swings those elbows. He'll be intense here in game number 3, number 24. Turnover by Jahi Carson. Campbell pushes it up. Here's Gabe Freeman. And can't make that bucket. Loose ball, and then it's batted away by Akeem Ellis. And that was the case in game number 2. A lot of easy buckets that St. John, they just did not convert on.
Yeah, and they're normally pretty good with that all season long. So they've missed. I watched those games too, and they missed a lot of stuff that I haven't seen them miss. But the Storm, again, it comes down to rebounding right now. Storm don't have a shot at the basket here in the first 30 seconds. St. John has 5. So, and there you go.
So there you have it. Our first points of the game. Commons, the veteran. He's been in a couple of championships in the NBL. One of the original members of this league. Second all-time in NBL scoring. There's Rashad Wack. He wants to go down the lane. A little floater, and he gets it to bounce in.
And he's picked up his game in spades. Came in late in the season, and now he's really found a home. 23 points, I do believe, last game.
22 to be exact. 22 points, 5 rebounds. He was 7 of 16 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point range.
Yeah, and that's why he's starting tonight. He just stretches the defense, and he's very good professional player.
And there's a pretty good professional player right there. That's Chris Commons.
Yeah, so St. John had to find somebody to keep them in this early on, and it's going to be Commons, I do believe. But.
Ball comes to Baines. Richter back to Baines. Little floater off the window and in.
Yeah.
Now you're probably wondering to yourself, where is Horace Wormley? Well, Horace Wormley is no longer a member of the St. John Riptide. He has signed a deal to go play in Venezuela. He left the team yesterday before game 3. So going to see if that affects this St. John team somewhat here.
Yeah, well, Horace Wormley's a great player. He's a crazy good point guard. So, I mean, in this league, guys just step up. They know their roles. They've been playing all season, so I think they'll be able to stay with their game plan.
Jahi Carson gets it down to Ellis. Ellis going to try it and drains the 3.
And this place is loud tonight. Saturday night in Charlottetown.
We know there's at least 2,000 folks.
Oh, beautiful steal.
In this rink, and now a steal by Baines. And Baines is fouled. And he'll head to the line. We know there's at least 2,000 fans. There might be just a little bit more than that here in Charlottetown to witness game number 3.
Yeah, I'd say this is the best crowd we've seen all season, and that's good because PEI Islanders come out and support their teams, and they've supported the team all season, and this is just a bonus. So, and for the Storm, listen, when you've got a big crowd, the place is live, it gets your adrenaline up. And we'll see, sometimes that doesn't always work that well for teams, but obviously the Storm have started off offensively good, and they just got to work on a couple things defensively here.
Here's Baines, the second shot, makes that. A 9-5 lead, 9:32 remaining in the first quarter of game number 3. Here's Alex Campbell out of the University of Windsor.
And that's where Wormley would play. So, you know, we'll see how Alex Campbell does at that point guard position. And he's got to guard Jahi Carson, too.
He came off the bench in game 1 and was very good. Very productive. Now he's in a starter's role.
No.
Akeem Ellis, are you kidding me?
It's a little bit deep.
That was from another province.
He shoots deep shots.
Yeah, he's not afraid to put it up.
No. Look at the defense right there. There's no separation between offensive player and defensive player.
Here's Commons. Heads down, and they get the tip. Yes, that's Gabe Freeman that tips it in.
And technically, there was a switch on an offense, so they've got to make sure that with that switch, they can stop penetration.
And they're going to call travel on Jahi Carson.
Yeah, just slid his pivot foot. Nice penetration there. Again, it becomes which team can stop penetration. You talk about defense, and it's a lot of rebounding, but it starts with the ball. And if you can keep that ball away from the other opponent's basket, you're going to be a good playoff team.
Here's Campbell. Puts that one short, loose ball. And now here's Wack. Wack takes it back the other way. Ritger had the hot hand in game 2. He's got a hot hand here to start game number 3.
And now the St. John team's in trouble because if Richter gets going, when he's shooting a high percentage, the Storm win. So he hit his first shot, so we'll watch his three-point barrage tonight.
19 points, 10 rebounds for Al Richter in game number 2. 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point range. And there's Gabe Freeman. There's the guy they need to shut down and shut down hard.
Man, vice versa. If he gets hot.
Yeah.
You know, Gabe Freeman's one of the best players I've seen in this league, and he showed you why. He's got range and fight and determination.
Baines, little short baseline shot, no good. Gabe Freeman, he got into foul trouble in both those games in St. John. And you had Anthony Anderson in foul trouble as well in game number 2. So you take those two guys off the court for extended periods of time, you better get something done, and the Island Storm were able to do that in game 2.
Look at the defense extending on the wing there. They weren't able to pass the ball. So that's St. John's really come to play. I can tell by different situations like that. Switching well.
There's Baines, Rittger again, 3 points, yes!
And penetration creates that. So Terrell Baines put it on the floor once, hit his shooter in the corner. Good basketball.
Freeman's shot's no good. That goes out of bounds. It'll be Storm ball. Talking to Coach Spahn, he said they didn't do the job defensively. They didn't prevent the Storm getting in the lane and kicking that ball out. He wants his interior defense to be just a little bit better and prevent those kickouts.
Exactly. And you see Richter down here in the right corner right here, and the defense on him is a little bit stronger, so they cannot leave him.
Jahi wide open. Carson hits it off the iron. Back the other way now. Almost picked up by Jahi Carson. Freeman, little fake. Kicks it out now for Mincy. And Mincy, he was 0 for 7 from the field in game 2. And he needed that for some confidence.
Yeah, he did. And that's what he does, right? So he's hit his first one too. So
Jahi from three-point range. That's short. Rittger in there. Good hustle. Loose ball. And they're going to say it was kicked. And that will be Storm ball.
And you know, this is Richter's crashing the glass, hitting shots. But listen, for the Storm right now, AJ Stewart said this is a huge sub. He's been injured the last month or so. They gave him some rest. This is the difference in the Storm. They go from Terrell Baines to AJ Stewart. Love it.
Yeah, AJ Stewart out for a while towards the end of the season with a foot injury.
He can guard down low, crashes hard.
Here's Wack. Kind of a mid-range jumper there. No good. Mincy. And Commons.
And you notice that was Mincy. After he hit a shot in the corner, comes down and penetrates. So that, to me, indicates that he's starting to gain a little bit of confidence.
15 apiece here, 5:37 in this first quarter. Over to Gabe Freeman, nice pass by Mincy.
Yeah, so Mincy starts to hit some shots, penetrate, and it opens up the floor. So you got your three-player doing that, and that's how come they've got a 2-point lead. Back in the game in foreign territory.
And a foul going against Gabe Freeman.
St. John foul number 25, Gabe Freeman. That'll be his first. That'll be the team's second. Timeout on the court.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. 5:18 remaining in the first quarter. 17-15, Riptide in front of the Storm, stepping out. Coming back to Charlottetown right after this.
Being part of an Easter Seals camp has really shaped who I am today. My dream is to see every kid in Canada living with a disability go to an Easter Seals camp so they can experience what I have experienced. See ability in disability. See the difference? Be the difference.
Text Easter to 45678. Make your $10 donation today.
Island Storm basketball on 5TV1 is brought to you by Grafcom Group Design Web Marketing. We're here to help you be great. Peter Ruttgazer alongside Gord McNeely and the 5TV1 crew. 5:18 remaining in the first quarter of game number 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal, and the Riptide have a 2-point lead, 17-15. Thoughts on what you've seen here? No, it's a small sample size, but nonetheless.
They're putting up big points early on, so that means that St. John found their fast break game, and they did it by hitting jump shots, penetrating, and just doing the little things. So there's a lot of tension off them right now. The Storm just got caught up in the emotion of the start and the crowd, and so they're going to settle down here in the next few minutes and just play their basketball game.
Gabe Freeman and Chris Commons both have 7 points so far in this one.
Yeah, quick, easy 7 points. So, and Jahi Carson's still looking to find his basketball game here. Missed a couple shots early, but he's an offensive explosion.
Jahi Carson misses that shot.
Shot clock was going down to 1, so he had to fire it up.
Brad States is in the game. I'm surprised that Brad States is playing for the Island Storm. Tried to jam in game number 2, came down hard on his wrist, and that left wrist is heavily taped.
Yeah, and I saw that fall. That was something else. So, but he's providing them quite a bit of a spark here in playoffs, and he's just doing the little things like that.
Gabe Freeman's shot no good.
So Richter's going to set up in the right side corner as a shooter, penetrate from the left, and there's the shot.
Here's Ritger again. Mamma mia, he is on fire.
Yeah, so
he's picked up where he left off in game 2.
When you can shoot the ball like that, just plant yourself in that corner and let everybody else do the work, and that's the result. We might have a 3-point barrage watch.
And there's Commons. He replies with a tray.
It's on now, Chris Commons says.
I'm thinking that these two teams are going to shoot the ball a lot better than what they did in games 1 and 2, especially St. John.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And there's a turnover, a forced pass by Wack, trying to get it
nice play.
A.J. Stewart.
And that was a great play. Like the little things. Jahi Carson went like he was going to steal the ball. Chris Commons saw it, and that's why he traveled. So that's a really heads-up playoff play right there by Jahi Carson.
So a travel there against St. John. One thing you're seeing from the St. John team, a little bit more energy, a little bit more passion. They look stale in game number 2.
Yeah, and they're playing their basketball game, penetrate and pitch, get it inside and see if you can get Freeman a touch.
Oh, that's a strong move there in the low post by A.J. Stewart.
And do they have an answer for that? I'm looking at this lineup, and Freeman and States are guarding each other, so that's huge for Brad States. He's a rookie in the league, man, guarding a former MVP. Good for you, young man.
And foul on States there. One thing that I saw in game number 2 is that Brad was really getting under the skin of some of the veterans on the St. John team, getting them frustrated.
Yeah, it's good. He's a former UPI player. We've seen him develop every game. He's gotten better and better, and now he's earning minutes, important minutes in the first period of play here in the playoff game. But this game, I think we're going to be in the hundreds here, Peter.
Well, going into this series, the expectation was that every game was going to be a shootout because these two teams, they know how to shoot the ball, but that wasn't the case in games 1 and 2. States from 3. Yes!
Oh, boys. Look at that.
The Bathurst, New Brunswick native knocking it down.
And, I said it early on. That's the shot that he needs to hit to make it in this league, and he just did. He's been working all season on that shot, so big bonus.
Mincy tries to reply, and he does. And now there you see what I was talking about. Gabe Freeman.
Oh, boy.
Now Gabe Freeman trash-talking Joe Salerno and the crowd.
Look at this.
And here's the three-pointer by States.
Quick release. You see some rotation in the basketball there. Hits it. Goes the other way, and then they got mixing it up. That's all right, playoff basketball. That's what you want. You want guys going after each other, fighting for their team.
Here's Jahi Carson. He wants a screen. States taking a baseline, kicking it out. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Jahi back to States. Oh my goodness, what a play. Brad States playing some unbelievable basketball here.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about your arm, Peter. I almost ripped it off there.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, that's a major lift for this building. That was some energetic dunking right there.
States, and he gets the foul on Freeman. Good defense by States.
And Spawn, their coach, was looking for a timeout. Watch this. Jumps, finds his player. Maybe not the way your junior high coach wants you to do it, and then receives the ball again. Oh, he's way above the rim.
Here's Al Stewart. A.J. Stewart knocked out of his hands by Mincy. And here comes Gabe Freeman. Commons loses the handle. Campbell follows up, no room for him. And it's going to be a foul against A.J. Stewart.
Yeah, and you know, if you're a basketball fan, you're watching St. John, you're like, okay, the tempo's there, but because Wormley's not in the game, it's a little bit more sporadic. That means Freeman's got it in the backcourt. Who's their point guard right now? So you'll see the ball bouncing and not the best passes. Just goes to show you how the importance of that point guard position.
Oh, back to Mincy by Freeman. And a little bit of a missed assignment defensively by the Storm. And it's 26-25, Riptide, 141 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you can't allow open layups like that. So he was the person inbounding the ball. So
turnover by Campbell. Al Stewart, this will be an easy lay-in. So 27-26 lead here for the Storm. And Jahi Carson, I think he got poked in the eye. And he's going to have to come off here.
And this is a good layup for Al Stewart to get in, and that's what he does. He gets out in the floor, and he's had some huge games this season, so he's Mr. Playoffs here for the Storm.
So Kevin Elliott.
Mency's the point guard. So it's just they're rotating a few guys in, so it's a little bit chaotic for the St. John Riptide right now.
Kevin Elliott will take a look at Jahi Carson. Take a look at that eye. Got a finger, I believe, in his eye. Here's Al Stewart, the alley-oop! What? To Brad States! And that's got this crowd fired up.
Woo! Are you kidding me? That was right over top of a streaking Freeman. What a pass. What a dunk. Oh. Kids got ups, boys.
We've said this all season long. Every game that we've done here on 5TV1 Storm Game, each and every game that Brad States has been in the contest, he has improved. And he's to the point now where he can definitely hang with players of this level.
Yeah, and that was an and one. For sure he can. And, you know, it wasn't his ability. It was just that the questioning himself. His mental game at the beginning. You're in a professional basketball, but now you can see him start to let loose a bit.
47 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 9 on the shot clock. This is Brown. Mincy now. And then coming in out of nowhere was Stover.
Wow, the answer. Stover says, man, I can dunk it too. This NBL action is unbelievable.
Ritker, another three ball, no good. A.J. Stewart gets the rebound. Got time here, 19 seconds remaining. Baseline, States. Ritker wide open. That's in and out. States, great save. No, they say that he was out. Good hustle by number 7.
Yeah, did he ever provide a spark in this first quarter? So watch this. You be the judge. Look at this camera work. Yeah. I think he got the ball in.
I think he did too.
Before that shoulder hit the what great job, and the camera work's fantastic here with Bell TV1.
There's put to Timmy. Gets an easy bucket. So folks, wow, what a first quarter of basketball in game 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal game. We've seen everything. We're going to step out right now. We'll come back with second quarter action after this. You're watching 5TV1.
I was a kid, wherever we went by pedal bike. Just imagine pedaling your bike every day, going to Carpoon to Lanson Meadows. We've been all over the place here. We went in every nook and cranny and climbed across the roof and hung on the beam. You know what young fellas are like. When this is here, you come and explore. My character is Ragnar, and my role is a blacksmith. Talk about where the Vikings got their iron and smelt it down and turn it into nails. The Vikings. Yeah, I think they're still here.
Welcome back to Charlottetown, everybody. 1 quarter in the books, and we've got a good one on our hands here. Game 3, Charlottetown, or rather Island Storm and the St. John Riptide tied at 30 apiece, excuse me.
Yeah, and you're seeing, you know, there was so much going on there. 30 points each, 60 points already on the board between these teams. And it's just been an entertaining first quarter. And you saw a lot of good basketball being played. Freeman's hitting shots. Mency was big for the St. John Riptide, but no bigger than Brad States to come in off the bench and really do some stuff there. Had a couple big dunks. There's Al Richter, 3 3-pointers. I mean, this is what you want in a playoff game. And you're going to see the defense tighten up. But for right now, let the boys play because this is fun to watch.
And both teams really shooting the ball very well after a quarter. Island Storm, they're shooting 52.1%, 12 of 23 from the field. Or excuse me, that's St. John. Island Storm shooting 55%, 11 of 20 from the field. So a major improvement from what we saw in games 1 and 2 as you take a look at Brad States, who's going to sit down for a bit. Boy, if that wrist is hurting him, you couldn't tell because he was all over the place getting the job done for the Island Storm.
And this is fun to watch, and I hope you're enjoying it, folks.
Here's Rashad Wack. He hits it from downtown.
And Rashad Wack, great player. Played in Switzerland just a mere short couple months ago, and he's over here, and that's what he does. He shoots beautifully from the perimeter.
Brown comes back, banks it off the glass.
Yeah, St. John working it around. They're staying in. They just want to keep it close and make sure this is the game right at the end of this.
Keem Ellis drives. And then following up was Baines. Big rejection by Stover.
Yeah, that was big, but that's aggressive. Storm being aggressive, St. John saying not tonight.
Al Stewart.
Baines is hurt. Right in the middle of the key.
Wack tries the shot. Yeah, Baines he got shook up a little bit.
Yeah, and what we don't see there's these screens at the top. These ones are incredibly high. Whoa!
Oh, nice spin move by Mency. Can't convert.
And these screens are incredibly hard. Watch the action right there. So that wasn't a very strong screen, but that's where people are starting to get hurt because they're extra strong in playoffs.
Stewart, Baines, 6 on the shot clock. Baines hitting it.
And we know he's got that range. We've been watching it all season, him nail down that 18-foot jump shot.
Storm 35, Riptide 32. Commons shot, he misses.
And he's tapping himself because Commons is a point guard. He started off as a point guard, and you'll see a replay here. So this is a little slip screen, and he just got hit right in the stomach. Yeah, amazing camera work there. So that was the play where he just got the wind knocked out of him. So Commons is the point guard, but Mency was that time. So they're just struggling to find out their identity right now without Wormley.
Shot by Richter. Crowd wants some D.
See, Mency's the guard, and he's coming back. And what the Riptide are doing now, because they don't have that point guard, they're one pass shotting it. And Wormley would have kind of taken care of that, moved the ball around. Who's got to catch it right now? So, well, you can shoot one pass, shoot it there. But so we'll watch how that develops over the course of the game.
For just joining us, Boris Wormley, point guard for St. John, left the team. He signed a deal to play in Venezuela. So he left the team yesterday, just before Game 3. I don't know if I want to be going to Venezuela right now with the tension that's going on between some of the citizens and the government there.
Yeah.
But
you want to get that contract paid up front.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, look who's coming in.
So Terry Thomas is going to check in, and this is a sight for sore eyes. Had a wrist injury in game number 1, did not play game 2, and he's going to give it a go. He's trying to gut it out here for his team.
And that's that. And you said that you saw his wrist, and it looked like a small balloon.
Yeah, I mean, it was swollen right up. So he was here in pregame warm-up, and he's going to give it a shot.
Good for him. Tough kid. He's had a great season. One of the top premier players in this league.
A great season, and also a great season dealing with a hip injury all season long, which is unbelievable. He was able to play at the level that he did with that injury.
Yeah. And, you know, St. John's doing a good job of hanging around. Like, it's a one-point game, and they haven't necessarily played to their ability.
Ellis comes down with the rebound. He'll push it here. 8:33 left in the second quarter. Terry Thomas gets his first touch. And that wrist is A-OK.
Yeah. Can you believe coming in and just hitting a 3 right off the bat? And his three-point game has improved quite a bit the last 2 months.
And that was Timmy with the three-point shot there. And the bench wanted a foul on
nice
Terry
move.
Thomas. Here's Al Stewart as he turned the corner, lays it in. Yeah, the Island Storm bench, they wanted a foul on Terry Thomas. Looked like he took an elbow from Timmy. Mincy looking for options.
One-on-one in the post.
Here's Addison going against Ellis.
Look at the physicality.
Ellis with a roadblock.
No,
and
not tonight.
that's Addison losing the handle. They push it up. Here comes Wack. And Wack is fouled, and he'll head to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and Ellis, you see that they brought Ellis in, and that's what he does. He's so intense. He just stopped him down in the post, which started a fast break after a bad shot. And now you've got a attacking player and nobody to get back. So good basketball, good defense starts your offense. And for the kids watching at home, watch this young man's shot. Watch his rotation, watch his hand. This is how you want to learn how to shoot the basketball. Watch this. So you're around, and then you see how his hand just flicks down.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's how you shoot the basketball right there.
One thing that the Riptide want to do, they want to defend 22 a little bit more tightly here this evening. And there's an alley and an oop, as that's Addison throwing it down. Or excuse me, Stover.
Yeah. Oh, man. The young man can jump. I like Stover's game. And that's what you do. Sometimes with Stover, you have to do a little bit of the work, but if you can just throw it up there, he's going to go get it. Watch the penetration. You're overplaying. Terry Thomas gets out of position. The help comes over, and it's too late. So St. John forced the Storm to rotate and there's no way they can rotate over. Stover dunks it.
42-39 for the Storm. Ellis, he'll defer here to Al Stewart as he wants a screen.
Well, you can't go through there. Yeah, I guess you can.
Here's Ellis from downtown, missed it.
Oh, what a rebound by Stewart.
New shot clock. Yes, Stewart, good hustle there. And that should be a goaltend, shouldn't it?
Play on, the ref saying
no goaltend, so. And the crowd, they do not like it here in Charlottetown. Here's Brown. He gets the ball stripped. Baines, Terry Thomas flying down the court. And he gets lassoed there by Timmy, and he goes over and checks on Terry Thomas, make sure he's okay. Good sportsmanship there.
Yeah, watch this. This is the play there they're talking. Is the ball in the cylinder? Is it in the cylinder? You can't touch the rim.
Wow.
You know, so that should have been a a play. But you know what? They change the rules every half an hour. So I'm not even sure what the exact rule is.
Now, I believe there's a different rule. There's a different rule in FIBA basketball. Isn't there a different rule also in the NBA?
Yeah, there's a different rule.
In almost every league?
Yeah. But when we play, Peter, they drop the nets to 8 feet. So then that rule applies. No, I don't. The FIBA rules versus, so I'm not sure exactly. I know if it's on the rim or on the cylinder, you can't knock at it. But yeah, so typically, like as a basketball player, you would see that and you'd be like, that's goaltending, you know. So
Anthony Anderson is making his first appearance in this game. And he sat for a long while. I don't think he played in the first quarter, did he not?
No. And that's what was funny because we were looking at their different point guards. Chris Commons started the game on a point, but then I forgot about Anderson, who's only checking in now with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
So, yeah, he did not play in the first quarter. And that's very strange.
Well, you never know what's happening injury-wise.
Oh. And there's another long-range shot. Al Ritker getting the job done. 47-39, Storm in front of the Riptide. 6-12 in the second quarter here in game number 3 of this East Division matchup. Series tied at 1. Swing it over to the near side here. Campbell wants to try his luck at 3 points. No good. Terry Thomas with the rebound. Terry Thomas looks fine. He looks like he can play the rest of this game. Here's Ellis, and he hits a deuce.
And he's disappointed because he had to shoot it within 30 feet of the basket that time. I mean, he's got range. That's why he had that shot, because everybody bites at a shot fake because he can hit that long range shot.
Here's Campbell. Oh, good defensive play. Was that Thomas?
That was Thomas. Got a piece of that ball on the way up. Amazing.
Jaheed Carson. A little bit of a circus shot. Can't get it to roll.
Yeah, and Jaheed Carson is struggling from the floor, so he needed that kind of to go. But he'll get hot here. He just needs one basket, and then he could put up 30.
Storm by 10. Put it Timmy behind the back to Addison. Step back jumper. Drains it.
Really good follow through on Addison's shot. To get it up to the position where he shoots it, it's a little bit funny, but once he gets it up there, it's straight and beautiful fall through.
Terry Thomas. Ellis. Ritker. No way.
Oh, man.
Yes way.
Oh, man. You
Al
want to
Ritker.
know?
Oh, he's on fire.
It's hot in the kitchen. Al Richter is smoking hot on fire. Wow.
52-51. 41, excuse me, for the Storm.
Is that a 6-3?
Looking right now. He's 5 of 8 from three-point range.
Get him the ball. So penetrate on his side and just keep feeding him.
He was 3 of 7 in game number 2. Oh, inside. Easy bucket for Baines. That was Jaheed Carson.
They need a timeout, and here it is. You can't let this game get out of control right away. The Storm are playing some of the best basketball of the season.
Jaheed Carson with this pinpoint pass here.
Oh, man, everybody's scrambling, and that's because they're thinking about Richter in the corner. And great footwork by Baines there. Great pass by Jaheed.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a break right now, pay some bills. 4:08 remaining in the second quarter. Storm 54, Riptide 41. Back to Charlottetown right after this.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Island Storm basketball on 5 TV1 is brought to you by Centennial Auto Group, official vehicle provider of the Island Storm. One family, one customer at a time since 1979. Peter Rutgazer, Gord McNeely, and the entire 5 TV1 crew. And the Storm having themselves a great game so far in game number 3 of the semifinal matchup. They lead 54-41 over St. John.
Yeah, look at the defense. They're trying it again, and no, that's the difference with A.J. Stewart makes coming back in the lineup there. His defense is solid in the post. And listen, the Storm have 19 assists. That's insane for this time in the basketball game. So they're playing, distributing the ball. Hard to stop a team when they've got 19, 20 assists.
Oh, nice move by Ellis. Can't get the fadeaway. He jostles there with McQueen, who comes into the game. Here's McQueen. Anderson from downtown.
Yeah, that's pure. That's why he's a former MVP, but we're still trying to figure out. He's only played 3 minutes thus far, so, I mean, but hits a 3, big 3 for St. John Riptide.
Gabe Freeman is in the contest here. Rebound brought down by McQueen.
Yeah, good timeout for the Riptide there. Whoa.
Oh, that's a hard screen.
It's on now, isn't it? You're going to see a little payback for that screen, I think, Peter.
Kelly Olynyk, the Canadian, plays for Boston. He got into a situation on a hard screen. There's a hard, whoa.
Yeah, just a little pop and just a little kind of flex there with the hands can make it.
Yeah, I was just saying Kelly Olynyk with the Boston Celtics got into a little bit of a situation against Washington in the playoffs this week. I mean, set a real hard screen. I guess you can't set screens anymore, can you?
Yeah, and did Kelly Olynyk ever get it for that? The guy came at him like it was a football player trying to tackle one of those pylon things. So that's what I mean. It's like there's a reaction and an opposite reaction in basketball. So it's going to start to get chippy here if the refs don't get a control of that. That's what the refs are doing right now.
Campbell's going to get called for a foul. Yeah, it was almost combustible in game 2. There were a couple of occasions there where things could have gone off the rails, but both teams decided to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, and he's looking for an explanation, and I want to tell Campbell, I'm like, your screen was bad, but this has more to do with the 2 screens before that. So it's going to be a time of like 10-point lead. Good timeout by Joe Salerno. Let's get control of this. We didn't really come out after the last timeout very well. Get control of this. Get back to playing the game that we have there. Al Richter needs to shoot at least 2 more 3-pointers in this last 2 minutes as you start to see some highlights here. Oh, man, that's pure. So this is Terry Thomas's first shot entering the game. Bang.
Yeah, he's looked very good. There doesn't seem to be any problems, I mean, with that wrist. Who knows? He might be just gutting it out here.
Oh. Here's the dunk. Watch this. Boom. That man can jump over. And look at the quick release. Gets his foot set. Got hit, too, on that play. Left-right footwork. Hakeem Ellis shooting inside the 3-point line.
And there's Rittker again. Wow,
Man.
What a first half he's had here.
Wow, you can see, look at the finish on all these players. When the ball goes up, it gets to the pocket, they release it. Everybody's shot is the same finishing the ball. Kids need to be watching this. In Charlottetown and St. John, they need to be watching these players and just rewind Al Richter shooting the basketball, then get in the gym and repeat that, because that's the way you become a better shooter. These guys do it better than anybody. Okay, so get in and watch these games. Keep this broadcast online. You can learn a lot.
So there you see the Storm. They get their instructions to come out here with 2:26 remaining in the second quarter, and they have themselves a 54-44 lead.
What an entertaining basketball game. This is so much fun.
And right now, leading the way for the Storm, Al Richter. He has 15 points. You've got Rashad Wack. He has 7. 10 points for Chris Commons for St. John. Ellis in the paint. That hit the rim and came out.
Good aggressive take against Freeman. You can pick up a foul. That's what you want.
Freeman trying to set a screen there, and that's an easy bucket for Addison.
And this is the defense. I watched that play develop, and then it was the screener who got it off the roll. I mean, you've got to do a better job of communicating through that. So the Storm have gotten a little bit sleepy here to end the second quarter.
Anthony Anderson trying to strip that ball away from Terry Thomas. Swings it over to the near side. Here's Ritger. Ritger gets knocked down by McQueen. No call. And Al is talking to the official on the way back defensively. Gabe Freeman, nice fake on Ellis. Little finger roll, and Freeman is fouled.
Oh, somebody's talking to Richter. Look at that. They're in there. Doesn't like him talking to the refs.
And that's Addison. And if I'm not mistaken, Addison, he got into a little bit of a trash-talking situation in Game 2 with Brad States.
And so Addison didn't like him talking to the refs. See him right beside him there? They're like, you know, if you talk to the refs too much, it's perceived that you're gaining an advantage. But listen, Richter got hammered after that shot went up.
There's no doubt about it, yeah.
So, I mean, he's got a reason to talk to the referees.
So we've seen a couple of sparks fly here in this game as we did in Game 2. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail here in Game 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal. The other Eastern Division semifinal got started last night. Halifax with a 102-92 victory over Moncton. They'll play game number 2 tomorrow afternoon in Halifax.
Yeah, they had to that's a nice refereeing call right there on Addison on the blockout with Baines. And they give you see that high five? Like, these players, even though they're fighting and stuff, they're good buddies, man. They respect each other immensely. So I like to see that.
Yeah, a lot of sportsmanship in this league.
Yeah, I mean, this St. John team, they're fighting for the city of St. John, and vice versa. So is the Storm. So, oh man!
Oh, again, Baines, and that's Baines and Jahid Carson hooking up once again.
And you know, Carson hasn't scored yet, but that's his 7th assist. So, you know, he's getting it done, finding his teammates.
Loose ball, turnover by St. John. 55 seconds remaining. Ritger, he was going baseline, and ball went out of his hands. It's going to be Storm ball.
We're going to get some timeouts on. They got a couple timeouts left. Watch it. There's a contact. Contact on the body. He's saying it's off. No, it's a foul.
So both teams will discuss things right here. Storm with a 10-point lead and want to finish up strong here with 52.5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they're doing, he's not scoring, but he's getting his teammates involved. And after that last time out, the Storm got back to playing a little bit more of their basketball. I mean, this is a good basketball game. We've already got 56 points on the board for the Storm, 46 for the Riptide. That's pretty big numbers in a playoff atmosphere. So, I mean, as you start to see, like, the difference in this game was Al Richter, Brad States. We haven't seen him very much in the second quarter, but St. John's fighting. They're staying in it. You want to keep them close.
Yeah, and in Game 2, talking about Jahid, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, but I believe that at the half, he only had 5 points in that game. He ended up Game 2 with 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 of 13 from the field. So he got off to a slow start, but then heated up in the second half of that game. Same thing in game number 1. I mean, he really wasn't doing much offensively. All of a sudden, you look up at the end of the game, he had 31 points in that contest.
Yeah,
so
he can light it up. And you know, you talk to the coaching staff. Salerno really thinks G. Carson's an NBA type player. He's that good, along with Anderson and, you know, Freeman on the other team. Like, these guys are that caliber of play. So, I mean, you're going to start to see if he needs to score in this game, he'll score. But right now, he's distributing. Guys are getting involved, and he's really doing a good job of leading his team.
Now, in game number 2, in terms of rebounds, it was the Island Storm winning that battle 60-52 in that game. And right now, it's the Island Storm with 24 boards compared to 24 St. John. So getting the job done on the glass.
Look at this play. He's running out of bounds. I mean, it's that physical.
There's Baines. Jahid. And And nothing but net on that one as he gives thanks there to Terrell Baines.
Yeah, and I think he needed that going into halftime. That'll change everything up for him.
Here's Anderson. He's going to drive. And let's see. Foul against the Storm. Who's it against?
Probably Whack.
So that's Ellis will get tagged with that
yeah.
foul.
And you start to see it. Some of the, they're going to have to do a little bit more to stay in this game right now. So you're starting to see a couple of the key players for Anderson's really going to start to come on the last 36 seconds. So I think he's going to get another shot at least. This is the time where he likes to close halves on a high. I want to send a shout out to my friend and massive Storm fan, Donna McDonald, who's in the States right now watching. Sure, she usually sits up front, hanging out in B-Town.
Hope she's enjoying this game. A 10-point lead for the Storm, 27 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Shahid Carson directs traffic. Anderson, or excuse me, that's Mincy trying to guard him.
It's a difference in the shot clock. It's going to have to go up early.
Ellis. And good defense there by Freeman.
Yeah, but that's okay. You'd like to see Jahi spread the floor and just take it himself. Be a little bit more selfish in that situation. It's playoff time. You're the best player. It's on you.
Here's Mincy. Baines right on top of him. Loose ball. And that's going to do it for 2 quarters of basketball. And the Storm with a 10-point lead. They lead 58-48 against the St. John Riptide. Your thoughts on what we saw here, 2 quarters in the books?
Saw a very up-tempo, good open-style play. St. John fought to stay in this game, and they just did that. The Storm have to keep the pedal down and keep playing their basketball. Get the ball to Al Richter. Get him to have 12 to 13 threes tonight, and you're going to go home pretty happy.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. On the other side, we'll have our halftime report. Storm lead this one 58-48 over the St. John Riptide. Back with more right after this.
What's in my hockey stick? Mine's full of fun and exploding with exercise. It's stuffed with self-confidence, packed with practice makes perfect, and loaded with leadership. I keep it taped together with teamwork. I think it's made of carbon fiber, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
Being part of an Easter Seals camp has really shaped who I am today. My dream is to see every kid in Canada living with a disability go to an Easter Seals camp so they can experience what I have experienced. See ability in disability. See the difference? Be the difference.
Text Easter to 45678. Make your $10 donation today.
When I was a kid, wherever we went by pedal bike. Just imagine pedaling your bike every day, going to Carpoon to Lanson Meadows. We've been all over the place here. We went in every nook and cranny and climbed across the roof and hung on the beam. You know what young fellas are like. When this is here, you come and explore. My character is Ragnar, and my role is a blacksmith. Talk about where the Vikings got their iron and smelt it down and turn it into nails. the Vikings. Yeah, I think they're still here.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at the half, and at the break in game number 3, the Island Storm with a 58-48 lead over the St. John Riptide in game 3 of the East Division semifinal series. You know, the sports apparel business is a very tough industry to crack. For every Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, there are dozens of companies that fall to the wayside. In this edition of Champions Untold, Raisa Lalani tells us about a company trying to beat the odds.
Andreas and Kanar are champions. From university athletes to community ambassadors, this dynamic duo created a new clothing brand that is much more than just what you wear. It's called Infinitus.
So Infinitus means limitless and boundless in Latin, and the whole brand is about empowering youth to embrace their limitless potential. So that's done through activities, engagements, workshops, as well as coaching and enrichment programs.
Inspired by personal experiences, they wanted to create a place of support for youth in sport.
Personally, for myself, I've always been a big believer that everything happens for a reason. And in the biggest game of my life, my state championship game, on the first play, I tore my ACL. So being alone in the infirmary, that was the time that I made a decision that I wasn't going to let my circumstances limit me. So that's where I started the whole idea behind Live Infinitus, and got together with Kanar about 1.5 years.
Yeah. My first year, I started doing some work here at the CSSH Center in the Homburg Center. I just got pulled in by a friend of mine. We started doing workshops on helping ease the transition for student athletes moving to university and dealing with the stressors of a new lifestyle, basically. And I've always just been one to help out because of experiences of my own. And when I heard Andreas was coming to town, I was like, who's this guy from SFU, big recruit, whatever. But turned out to be my brother. Had this amazing brand, Infinitus, which is all about helping people embrace their limitless potential, which is all about helping youth realize that there are no limits and to take pride in their own path. And I'm all about promoting that however I can, so I had to jump on board.
The duo is taking the brand to the next level with a new campaign called Journey of Our Voices.
So essentially, our Journey of Voices is highlighting the power of storytelling through unpacking people and looking at the different milestones that actually impacted and influenced them and shaped their experiences. So we're taking that insight and using it to empower youth. So essentially, it's going to pertain with monthly themes and weekly topics. So for every week, we're going to bring in and feature our guests. So we're going to interview our peers, young and experienced professionals, to really gain their insight. Because in a lot of places, youth in rural communities or even immigrants don't have someone in their close network that has a shared passion as them. So if that's the case, who are they going to go to? So oftentimes you see people that are pushed away from things that they're passionate about and pursue things that they're not because they don't have anyone that can guide them. So essentially, that's what we're looking to do with Voices, is establish that community, like you said, and foster an environment where people can pursue their passions.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I'm passionate about Voices as well, because of the point you mentioned when people can stray from their path, maybe because they're not sure of what they want to do, but also because there's a lot of outside noise. There's a lot of people saying, you won't be able to do that, or you'll never reach this stage because of maybe the circumstances you grew up in, or any of that nonsense. So however we can limit that noise and allow youth to really see the light within themselves, then we're winning.
Where did this idea come from? Where the best ideas always do.
The Christmas break. That's all we did over Christmas was talk about Voices. But we were really big on watching TED Talks, and we are really big on it right now. And we were talking about the power of storytelling. And we were sharing stories of our own, sharing stories of others throughout our lives and how it has impacted us. And then we came up with the idea to allow everybody to feel that impact and be able to share their story, give their story a voice, and learn from others and create a community and be able to network with people who have been through some experiences that have shaped the person that they've become today.
Journey of Our Voices will be a platform for people to share their story. But the empowerment doesn't end there.
So essentially, yeah, the first component is having the links up on the website, working through the social media and having the audio, and we're going to work to adding a video component as well. But the back end being that we're going to have the opportunity to actually have the role models or people that we interview to be contacted, whether that's through ourselves or for a direct, ability to contact them, so that we're having a structure and a tangible role model and support system for these people.
And that's what we talked about too. Remember, like the whole home aspect, is because a lot of, both of us can attest to saying it takes a community to raise a child, and I've got so many families back home that I'm indebted to because of everything that they gave me, everything they helped me with growing up. But a lot of times people don't have those positive role models, and being able to come to a place where you can share stories and meet all different kinds of people who want to help you, who want to support you, it can feel like a home. It can make you feel like you're not alone. So inclusivity is what we're all about.
It's time to hear their voices. Inspiration transpires from many places. This is Andres' story.
I think, just bringing it back to my state championship game, obviously it was the first play of the game, rather, and tearing my ACL was my only fear and obviously my biggest fear because of that. And so being away in the state championship game, I lost my scholarships, which is huge, and football and sport had been such a big and integral part of my identity. I had a lot of soul searching to do, and where I was in the States, I was away from my family, and because my dorm room was stairwells, I had to live in an infirmary for 2 weeks, and so it really put me in an environment, in a position where I was uncomfortable, and so I had to change and had to adapt, and coming to that realization, I'm very passionate about people unlearning their limits and embracing their limitless potential, because everyone is great at something, they just have to find it.
This is Kanar's story.
I think for myself, especially Infinidus has been a very influential aspect of my life, because just like everybody, came up having to deal with some tough circumstances. But one of the toughest was when my sister was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder in 2008 when we moved to Ontario. And we didn't have much money, and kind of had to step up and grow up, and it was hard to deal with. Going to see her, it was definitely tough, to the point where almost she didn't recognize me. So having to deal with that and be able to see potential in myself, it took a while. And when I came to university and I started reaching out and just throwing myself into all these extracurriculars and things like that, I started to realize what it is I'm passionate about. I started to realize that I want to make a difference in mental health however I can. And when Infinidus came into my life, it just helped me realize even more to, just break the limits. There are no limits, and now coming into 2017, I can confidently say that I feel like I'm just, shedding off that old dead skin, just becoming someone new. So I'm indebted to this guy as well.
I'm Andreas Robinson, and this is my voice.
I'm Kanar Bell, and this is my voice.
Oh, sorry.
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 Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What's in my hockey stick? Mine's full of fun and exploding with exercise. It's stuffed with self-confidence, packed with practice makes perfect, and loaded with leadership. I keep it taped together with teamwork. I think it's made of carbon fiber, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
It's packed to the rack. rafters in the Edmonton Arena. Everyone is feeling the pressure on the Grabs as they await the American champs. Here's the Cleveland favorite Knits now, and boy, do they look impressive.
Look at their uniforms. I bet you could sure run in smart shorts like those.
Not that. Look, world champs, my eye.
Grads, we don't play for glory. We play the game for the game's sake. So tonight, you're going to earn that title by playing your game. Teamwork, passing. Let's show them what it means to play the Grads.
The Edmonton Grads were champions for 25 years. The record of 502 wins and only 20 losses is unmatched in all of sport.
Hi, Quinn.
When Nana visits, everyone's happy to see her.
We all know how quickly kids can get into things, and that's why we keep poisons locked up. But have you ever considered what's in your purse? Things like hand sanitizers, tobacco, coins, and medication are all poisoning risks for small children. That's why we should keep handbags out of reach.
It's a simple habit that will help keep our kids safe.
Yeah! For more information on preventing children's injuries, visit childsafetylink.ca.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. Thank you.
You make me feel so young.
Think young. Pass it on.
You make me feel so spring has sprung.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. About minute 37 away from getting the second half underway. Island Storm with a 58-48 lead over the St. John Riptide. And, yeah, very good, entertaining half of basketball.
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, the Storm have a 10-point lead at home. This place was going bonkers at times. St. John did a good job of weathering the storm. They've just lost a couple of key players in their lineup, and they did a good job of trying to figure out the game, a playoff game without Wormley in the lineup. So I think they did a great job of that. And didn't see much of Anderson. He did come in and score a quick 5 points at the end, but I think you're going to see more of him in the third and the fourth quarters.
Yeah, worth mentioning again, you know, Horace Wormley, who played games 1 and 2. I guess there was an agent over in Europe that was able to cut a deal for him to go play in Venezuela, and he just left the team after game number 2 to go to Venezuela and pursue his pro career down there. So it leaves this St. John team in a bit of a hole because he was their starting point guard. What have you noticed from the point position? It's been kind of helter-skelter now. A number of different players have taken over that position, and they're not really having the success that they would have if Wormley was in there.
Yeah, Wormley is a pass-first point guard, so he knew who needed to have the basketball. And what I've seen is Menzies played a little bit of the point. Alex Campbell started the game at the point. Freeman's dribbled the ball up the court. So when that happens, you get the ball up, but your people out of position, they're not used to where they're catching it. So what you saw is a lot of pass and then one shot and then throw it up. So did they have a lot of success with that? Enough to stay in this game. They weathered the storm defensively as a group, but offensively, it's really got to pick up, I think.
So here we go, second half action.
Now we've got Chance coming in Charlottetown.
A contingent of fans have come down here from St. John to watch this game.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, good support in St. John. I mean, watched online. You guys did a great job with that game online. So, I mean, these two teams know each other very well, and they're going to compete right to the last minute here.
Here's Commons. He turns it over. Yeah, did a couple of games in St. John with Keith Raines. Want to thank Keith for all his help. Here's Ellis from downtown. No good. Loose ball. Commons has it. And there's Anderson. He's starting this third quarter. Mincy with the floater.
24 before contact.
And that's Akeem Ellis gets charged with the foul.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's just, he probably did get him on the body. But, the refs really don't give you an explanation like that. It felt like an auction here, a refereeing auction. But we get a clear sense of what the call was.
So that's the second of the game for Akeem Ellis.
And then, again, Mency gets some points on the board. He started off the game on fire, got a little quiet, and then he gets himself in the game right in the third quarter, sorry.
Storm by 8. Al Ritker shot the ball amazingly in that first half. Here's Wack.
Great shot fake.
Oh, nice move by Wack. Stays with it. And that's going to be Storm ball.
And good individual effort. He'll follow his shot. Watch it go out of bounds right. Yeah, who's it? You know, that's where your Hollywood acting comes in. No matter who it goes off of, it's always the other guy.
Hey, Rashad Wack, his godfather is who?
Is
Lawrence?
Yeah, Lawrence McCauley.
Lawrence Martin?
Yes.
Martin Lawrence, excuse me. Jeez, Martin Lawrence, Martin Lawrence, the comedian.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
There's a shot from Anderson.
And you see how well he shoots the ball. That's a layup. He took his time, and nobody around him. Somebody fell down in the storm.
Yeah, so if anybody knows how to act, it's going to be Rashad Wack. As I said, his godfather is the comedian, actor, Martin Lawrence. And no, they waved that bucket off there by Jahi.
Yeah, that's Brett Stalker with that call.
And it's going to be Storm ball on the side. I wonder if Martin Lawrence is watching this game, watching his godson play.
Could be.
If he is, he's got to be very pleased with what he's seen from him here so far tonight. He's got the ball here now trying to break down Mency and then slips.
So Mency does not like that call.
And that's a call against Mency.
And refs are pretty good at that. Once somebody goes down like that, it's going to – watch it here. Yeah, it's just –
wow, that's a call against Mency?
Yeah. And they thought it was because of the push, and it was because there was probably a wet spot because of foul shooting or somebody in that area. That's where the high posts set up, so they drip sweat off their chin. So you only need about 2 or 3 drops.
Here's Al Richter. He drives the lane.
Good to get him going again. That'll make 17 big points for Al Richter.
Freeman going up against Ellis. Freeman's shot is short. Loose ball. Who's that? It's going to be St. John's ball here.
Wow, Jahi Carson in there, mixing it up for that rebound. So, very good defense. Akeem Ellis.
Now,
it's getting
yeah,
chippy.
Chris Commons, he's getting frustrated.
And that's good. That's a warning. They just gave him a warning.
Wow, Commons is really getting frustrated.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here in this post move. Oh, man, he's looking for somebody.
Chris Commons has got to settle down a little bit here. He's going to go to the line, but he's getting frustrated.
Yeah, and those are veterans right there. Baines and Freeman talking. Commons is just feeling a little emotional right now. There's nothing Akeem Ellis does differently.
Is he trash talking him? It looked like he was trash talking him during that possession there.
Well,
I don't know.
That's great camera work. You know, because you can see what's happening, but it's happening so fast. This is because the screening up top, continual screening, it's just getting hammered.
Jahi Carson wide open. Misses.
It's playoffs, so it's the physicality increases just that much more.
These two teams will go back at it again tomorrow afternoon, 2 Atlantic time, game number 4. Here's Freeman. And foul on Rashad Wack. Yeah. And Freeman will head to the line.
Yeah, the ref's just trying to get a control of this basketball game. You're going to see that for the next couple minutes. It's almost like the refs are going to send both these teams to the corner and start calling it a little bit tighter until they can get control of the game, and then they'll let it open up again. and they work really well as a team. So there's 3 refs on the court, and they let some stuff go, but you got to make sure that it doesn't get too chippy. Ball is trying to get it entered. The defense, St. John's defense is good to start.
Here's Jahi, and he gets it to roll as he turned the corner there and headed to the hoop.
Yeah, just a great penetrator. He needs to do some more of that here to open the game up for his team. States on Freeman. That's a nice matchup.
Here's Freeman wide open. And they just having some problems hitting that outside shot.
Oh, that's going to go on whack. And Joe Salerno is up, and he is not at church. He's got his hands out. He is upset. He's riling up the congregation here because and it's just getting a little bit chippy. There we go again. And Peter, we just talked about this. So the refs are doing this purposely. They're like, okay, you know what? We're going to get control of this game one way or another. And it's just unfortunate the Storm have got the brunt of that. You know, so the St. John is fouling too, but the Storm have picked up 4 boom, 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 quick fouls just like that.
So Wack has to sit down for a bit, and coming in is Terry Thomas. Thomas trying to clamp down on Anderson.
Oh, he was out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds.
Move it around. Campbell for 3. Campbell drilling it. You thought he stepped out of bounds there?
I think he stepped out of bounds, yeah. It was pretty close.
62-57 for the Storm. That'll be St. John ball with 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
And they've done St. John's done a good job of fighting to keep themselves in this game. I mean, you need a couple good things to happen on the road. So they got a few fouls that are going their way. That's what you want. Build momentum, hits a 3.
Ball almost picked off by
but there's a
Campbell.
shot clock issue here. It's only 6 on the shot clock. Full head of steam here.
Here comes Jahi Carson, a little floater. No good. Commons gets that loose ball. Right now, the Storm shooting 47.9% from the field. St. John 44.6. Here's Freeman. Oh, nice spin move. And then Commons finishes it off.
Now that's a professional basketball move.
Couple of veterans teaming up there for St. John.
Yeah, and it's quieted the crowd, making some good plays.
Baines wide open. Baines.
That could be one of the biggest shots of the night for the Storm. It just hits a nice open jump shot. Yeah, this game is getting a little bit too close.
That's Anderson. He drives.
Yeah, and the problem is for the Storm, you keep it close and you got a player on the other side like Anderson that will take control of this game in the last 5 minutes if it's close.
Storm by 3. States, Ritger, Jahi Carson, one-on-one here with Campbell. Oh, nice crossover move. Yes, and lays it in. And Jahi, I think he wanted the foul call. He's not going to get it.
Fans, that was so skillful. Oh.
And back the other way is Mincy.
Punch for punch, these teams are going at it, man. Mincy that was a great answer right back. But Jahi Carson's move, man, if you could break that down.
Here's Jahi again. And a follow-up by Terrell Baines. And now Jahi Carson bumps with Mincy.
This is getting good. Jahi wanted a foul on that play.
Wide open, Commons.
Count the basket. They're going to count the basket, the fouls on Freeman. Yeah. So there's a foul under the basket, but
so the bucket counts.
Watch,
then.
Here's that. Oh,
here's
did you
that
see
move.
That move?
Wow. Killer crossover.
And that's a great shot of how he spins the ball. He keeps it in his wrist and he spins the ball beautifully. Better than anybody I've ever seen do it with either hand. And then there was a foul on Freeman, but they're going to count. Count the basket.
States. He saw Terry Thomas going to an opening, couldn't get the pass to him. Here's Commons having some problems against Baines. Mincy calling out some directions here.
They're fighting through the screen, so they're not trying to switch.
Common's going to yank it up. No good. States with the rebound. 5:46 remaining in the third. It's the Storm by 2.
There's the speed.
And Campbell will get charged for the foul.
And Peter, that's what we talked about, that when was Jahi Carson going to take over?
Oh, and here we go. Here we
yeah.
go. Here we go. Terry Thomas and
Stay
Gabe
on
Freeman.
your benches. And you know this was gonna start to boil up a little bit. Freeman over there, the veteran, trying to separate them. And that's it. He's the leadership of this league. Freeman trying to keep everybody playing. They want to play. I mean, and that's a really, really good thing. It's just chippy and physical, and this is what you want at a playoffs. Just don't do anything that you shouldn't out there.
Okay, 5:40 remaining in the third quarter. Things heating up here. It's the Storm in front by 2. We're going to take a break. Come back with more on 5TV1.
Signor Caboto! On deck, sir. You won't believe your eyes.
Captain, over here! You must see this!
Look at the cap down there. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Amazing. So Codfish, so thick they stayed the progress of our ship. Your fleets have no further need of Iceland. Fish is enough to feed this kingdom, oh sire, until the end of time.
Island Storm basketball on 5TV1 is brought to you by Insight Brand and Marketing Studio. Experience Insight. Peter Rutgazer, Gord McNeely, and the 5TV1 crew. And wow, I went to a basketball game and a boxing match almost broke out as these two teams getting a little combustible.
Yeah, and you know what? Shout out to Gabe Freeman there, trying to keep it. He's really trying to keep everybody under control. He's been through this before. And then for the Storm, too, Terry Thomas brought a couple of his teammates away, but they got into it there and let that go. You got to remember that you don't want – the refs haven't called a technical foul either on anybody. So they're saying, hey, let's separate. I know you guys are playing hard. Just keep it for basketball and nothing more.
And then you see Freeman and Baines, and Terrell Baines said – made Gabe Freeman laugh, and Gabe, I mean, he's a different type of dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he loves the trash talk.
Yeah,
and look, now he's getting into it with Jahi.
Yeah. And that's how you got to do this. If you've been around the league and stuff, you care about the league. He cares about St. John. I watch those games. He's getting the crowd going. Just a great guy in the community. Keeps it light. Just loves being alive, I think. So we'd love to see that here. But, man, is this game ever like...
And now he's gone over to the bench. So, okay. A nice light moment there.
Yeah.
When we thought things were going to explode.
And it's just physicality. These teams care. The Storm care about the Prince Edward Island community, and the Riptide really care about St. John. They're doing it for you guys. So, like to see that. These kids are competing.
I'm seeing Akeem Ellis. He's running down towards the dressing room. Not too sure why he's heading towards the room. Hopefully he'll be back.
And St. John's really played a great third quarter.
Al Richter takes that pass from Thomas. Thomas back again, down
nice.
the lane. Oh, that is beautiful. And Terry Thomas trying to get this crowd
Oh, yeah.
all hyped up.
And he came out. That's how you penetrate. He went to the basket. Watch this. Little fake left. And when he decides to go, he really goes. And unless you have a position in front of him. You just keep going in that direction. And Terry is one of the best penetrators for that reason.
So he converts on the three-point play as Brown fouled him. Boy, his first and second steps are just so fast.
They're fast, and once he starts to get at full speed, he's determined to go.
71-66, favor of the Storm. Here's Freeman. Nice pass inside for Commons. Banks it off the glass, and Coach Spahn, he wanted a foul there.
Great pass by Freeman. He'll make you pay. He got Brad States up in the air on a shot fake, and that's all it took to get them a layup. So stay down, close out.
Al Stewart, Richter in the corner. That was in and out. Commons loses it, but Brown's right there.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Richter take a shot. He had a layup early in the third quarter.
Oh, that's a long three from Anthony Anderson. We saw a lot of that in game number 1.
And now because he didn't play basically in the first half, he's fresh and he's shooting the ball nicely.
Al Stewart holds up over to States. Can't convert. He goes flying into the signage.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Storm ball.
Oh, that's, and I didn't see it. I think they made a mistake. I think St. John team they're right. That should have been maybe St. John basketball.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. A.J. Stewart back in there. Little floater. He gets fouled, and he'll head to the stripe.
Just watching the coaches, and that's a good job for A.J. there. You need to get your 5 spot producing, and A.J. Stewart, nice penetration, gets to the foul line. He's a good foul shooter.
And right now, A.J. just 2 points so far in this game.
So this St. John did a good job of bringing this back, tying this basketball game up. Took the crowd basically out of it in this third quarter, and now we're 71-all. It's anybody's basketball game, and you got Anderson playing well, Freeman controlling everybody. He's like a youth counselor out there.
And right now, in terms of assists, Island Storm with 25 and St. John with 21, so they're sharing that basketball.
Yeah, and Rashad Wack is the only shooter on the floor, really. Thomas can shoot it, too, so you're going to see a little bit more penetration for the next 2 minutes of the Storm, I think.
Talked about A.J. Stewart with just 2 points, or excuse me, just picked up his fourth now. Terrell Baines has 14 points and 4 rebounds, so Baines is having a strong game.
Oh.
Pass out of the reach of Anderson, and Anderson, he had his thumb and his finger apart just a little bit, saying it was close.
He came off that screen beautifully and was open. And the pass was just too high, so that's why that was a missed opportunity for the Riptide.
A.J. Stewart, good pass inside. Good defense by Freeman on Terry Thomas. And Thomas, I think he might have got poked in the face there.
Yeah, great cut, great pass, and great block. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Just got to get moving here.
There's that great first step by Terry Thomas.
Shoot it.
Whack, 3 points.
Oh, my.
Yes.
No.
No.
Violation. Ref on the far side, call it. Yeah, it might have been a little bit late. So, well, that's good for him. Like, as a shooter, you remember that. Even if it doesn't count, you're like, yeah.
Storm by 2, 73-71. Game 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal. Here's Anthony Anderson. And Wack has that rebound.
And A.J. Stewart did a good job of coming out big and strong at 6'9" to get a hand up.
States kicks it out. That's not the MO of A.J. Stewart hitting threes. And they're going to call a travel.
So he hit the ground before he passed the ball.
So coming in now for St. John is going to be Stover, and Gabe Freeman will take a breather.
And full credit to St. John. They came out and they're running better sets. and they're getting more because they're just a little bit more disciplined than they were in the first half of this basketball game.
Commons throws it up, and Commons is fouled.
And you see that came off of a set play, too high. Even though you didn't get the initial thing, you got the re-penetration on the weak side of the basketball court. So, I mean, they really had a good halftime. They went in, talked about things, and they're playing better basketball.
Right now, in terms of fouls, Gabe Freeman, he has 3 for St. John. Mincy with 3. And Alex Campbell has 3.
We don't know what happened with Akeem Ellis, but he's a very emotional player. You'd like to have him back, at least in the building. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he went to the dressing room. So we'll see when and if he can come back in this game.
Oh, that's a foul. Yeah.
States, he tried to go baseline, and Commons with the foul.
But I think that this game has been reffed pretty well. Like the refs have done a good job of working as a team and keeping it fair and even. And
so Gabe Freeman's going to come in, and Chris Commons will take a seat. 2 fouls against him. Chris Commons, what a game he's had here so far. 19 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah, that's a great game. Yeah, so really doing a lot for his team. And silently. But for the Storm, these are the kind of quarters you do not want to have in playoffs. These sleepy kind of quarters where, you know, you lost it. You're down 11 in this quarter. So, you know, you need to keep going through the third and into the fourth quarter and really say, hey, this is our home court. No, not today. Get your crowd into it.
Gabe Freeman, that was a wild shot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a different third quarter for St. John than what we saw in game 2. They came out in the third quarter. They had no energy, lackadaisical. So they've come out with more focus and more vigor. Here's Al Stewart. He gets rejected.
Yeah, a good take by Al. He's got to make things happen. He's a penetrator, and normally in playoff times, penetrators don't really score quite as much because their lanes aren't there. The defense has improved. So, but you got to keep going and find your shooters and penetrate. And
Gabe Freeman, all kinds of fakes and jukes and jives, and then he hits that shot. So a 1-point lead now for the Riptide, 75-74, 145 remaining in the third. And there's Rashad Wack coming right back at you.
Yeah, nice little crossover to set up, bring it back, and then pull the trigger. When you have a dagger like that for a jump shot, you keep shooting it. Look at the physicality on that screen. That was a dance.
And Anderson with a little floater.
Are they going to have an answer for him down the stretch here? And that's really the question, is that he dances all over the court and gets the shots that he wants. He can take over this game.
Whack.
Not much movement.
A.J. Stewart. Here's States. Fade away by Whack. And that is Stover that brings it down. It's very stationary in terms of the offense for the Storm in the half court, isn't it?
It really is, and good hustle play.
That States with the hustle. Here's Terry Thomas. One-handed jam.
And you could tell Freeman stopped about 80%. Oh, another steal. Just gassed. They're tired. So the Storm need to keep going.
They'll slow it down here.
Oh, look
27 seconds on the shot clock, or excuse me, on the clock. Anderson comes back the other way and lays it in.
Oh,
so, wow, they get the bucket, and then they get a steal, can't convert, and then Anderson comes back the other way and gets a deuce.
Well, yeah, that's Terry Thomas went to the basket with so much momentum. Just hit a little bit too strong with 8 seconds left to go here.
And now both teams turning the ball over just a little, not to the likings of their coaches, I'm sure.
Do you see that defensive play by Anderson? It's, you know, he's starting to really start to say, hey, you know what? It's me you have to worry about.
Oh, they get it.
And that's a big
wow,
basket
that
for
is
St.
a
John.
big bucket. Yes, it is. As that one rolled in.
Off the turnover at center.
Let's take a look at it.
Well, this is the play by States that really started the fast break and give Terry Thomas a dunk. Look at the speed. Watch this. Gabe can't keep up. And that's when your lungs start to bleed and burn right there. And then Terry Thomas, not too many people can keep up with his speed.
He's got tons of speed. So after 3 quarters of play, the Riptide, they've had a great third quarter here. They now lead 81-78. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more NBL playoff action right after this.
What's my soccer ball? Well, the air inside, it has superpowers. There are tons of little teachers inside that help me learn about things like collaboration and perseverance. With each kick, those powers get a little stronger. I think it's made out of polyurethane, though.
Give them the chance to discover what their equipment is made of. Give them the chance to play. Visit sportnovascotia.ca to find out how you can help.
Did you know falls are the #1 reason children in Atlantic Canada are hospitalized? Help make your home safer for kids of all ages by using or installing a window stop. Screens are not enough to prevent falls. Protect small children by using a screw-mounted gate at the top of the stairs. Be careful not to trip over your pets and keep clutter and toys off of the stairs and floors.
We can all help our home be a safer place.
Welcome back, everybody. Time now for the Alsco Kiss Off the Glass, and we're going to feature Jahi Carson.
Yeah, and look at this. See that spin with his left hand? Watch this. Right there. Boom. Shakes him big time. He's like, I got to get a kiss off the glass here. I got to get on Alsco. Woo. Yeah, he's like, I got fouled.
And that is the Alsco Kiss Off the Glass.
Yeah, and expect big things from him to start this fourth quarter. He's been sitting for about three and a half minutes. So I think it's Jahi Carson time. And with them down 3, Storm lost that quarter by 13 points. Probably the worst quarter in the playoffs thus far. So really, let's get back and start being aggressive here. Al Richter back on the floor as well.
They had a massive fourth quarter in game number 1 and made it very close. Here's Jahi. He's going to drive, glass and in.
Yeah, and uses that spin. So when you use that spin, you can get away from the basket, spin it, hits the glass, and goes in. He's really starting to catch fire now.
Crowd asking for some D. That pass, Mincy tried to find Stover there out of his grasp.
Nice little play there. Double screens on the weak side. St. John's running their offensive very well. Double high screen, shooter pops, and then you get one more screen from your 5-to-1. Well done.
Baines throws it back out for Carson. 7 on the shot clock, gonna try a 3. Misses, loose ball, good hustle. There's the veteran, the crafty veteran, Al Stewart gets that rebound. New shot clock.
It's a tough backcourt, Stewart and Carson. Oh, did you catch the corner? No.
And that was lost by Terry Thomas, so it'll be Riptide ball.
But I'm sorry, but Aaron Brown, that was fantastic defense there. He was moving his feet. He knows the kind of speed Terry Thomas has, so good check by him.
Basket waved off.
Yeah, grab and foul on Richter.
So while Richter gets tagged with that one.
Oh, wow. Again, Stewart.
Storm steal that ball. Here's Thomas out to Richter. He's wide open for 3.
It's been a while. Did you notice, Peter, too, when he's not hitting those shots, St. John's playing really well? You got to get him back getting open jump shots just like that.
Nice move by Brown.
Yeah,
for St. John.
Kid can play. Good defense, good offense.
Saw a little bit of action in game number 2.
You got your best player with the ball, your shooter on the left, Your penetrators here on this side.
Terry Thomas, see what magic he can
look at the defense.
Perform here. Stewart out to Terry Thomas. Loose ball. Terrell Baines picks that one up, and now Jahi says, okay, let's settle it down, boys. Oh, Jahi, look at the ball skills. Ritker. Can he get it to roll? No.
They're working. Both these teams are working.
Here's Anthony Anderson for three. Bingo.
He's talking to some fans, I think. Wow. What a demeanor that young man has.
I don't know why he didn't play in the first quarter for St. John, but that's ancient history now. He's getting the job done for this Riptide team now.
Woo. So he said he's got the potential to score whatever he wants to. I do believe he played at UMass, did he not?
Yeah, he did. UMass.
4 years, great player there, Minuteman. So they're
go ahead.
Figure out what they're talking about here.
Anderson, yeah, and Anthony Anderson, he
thought he got all ball, I think. That's what it looks like.
Pretty good pro career, played in Cyprus, Poland, and England.
I know they like him in St. John. Wow, you're lucky to have this young man. 20 points in about 10 minutes of play. No, he's played quite a bit towards the latter half of this game.
They really missed him in game 2 because he got into the foul trouble, had to sit down for extended periods of time. But he's had a whale of a game here for this Riptide team.
Yeah, and you can see, look at that stance on Stewart. Like, the defense will pop open here. It'll be all defense from here on in.
Here's Anderson, drives. Ritker had it momentarily. Anderson, nice pass.
Yeah,
got that loose ball off the floor and gave it to Brown, and he converted.
And you can see that's the difference in the game. You've got to make sure you contain that ball, but you're working as hard as you can.
Here's Jahi. Al Stewart back up to Jahi. Terry Thomas wide open. Hits the iron, and Anderson has the rebound, and Anderson is fouled.
And you know, for the Storm, don't panic. I see them looking up at the score clock. You know, you're right where you want to be. Just do it with your defense. I mean, this game was going to be close, so just get down, buckle down, and continue to talk to each other.
Akeem Ellis has not come back to the bench, and Anthony Anderson is fouled.
And what makes Anderson so good, Peter, is that he's low to the ground, but he's strong. So with every dribble, he's able to keep himself and get on balance. And he's going to win the physicality match with every dribble. So the defenders are always scrambling when he's penetrating. And he does that well, shoots the three well. So how do you defend him and go both ways? So he really has mastered the game of basketball.
Anderson shoots, gets the first of two. And gets both of them. 90-85. Riptide in front. 8:28 remaining here in regulation. Game 3 of the East Division semifinal. Series tied at 1 apiece. Terry Thomas. Brown trying to contain him. Here's Jahi, and he hits the long-range three.
There's a battle between Jahi Carson and Anthony Anderson. And you got Al Stewart, a former Defensive Player of the Year, guarding Anderson. So you got everything you want in this basketball game. Jahi Carson guarding Mency.
Ritker, a little bit of a reach in there. Commons.
Oh, he's with the hands. Tough shot.
Oh, and there's the follow-up by Stover. As Commons couldn't make that shot, and Stover was right.
You can't go to sleep even for a second.
Here's Ritker. Yes!
Oh, you have to be watching this game. My goodness, this game's got everything in it today.
Al Richter is on his game. The last 2 games, he's been superb. 7-16. And right there, that's Brown that comes right back.
With the answer. My gosh, that's Al Richter 7-3 too. So, man, there's times running at 7 minutes left. Look at that penetration.
Oh, Terry Thomas. Line and banking it off the glass.
Worked so hard to cut that corner. What I mean by cutting that corner is getting into the defender and getting the advantage going to the basket. Look at this ball handling skills. We'll go back to Anderson.
Anderson wants to try it. Yes. Anderson, he has a word for the crowd. Boy, the shooting ability of both these teams. This is the type of basketball we were expecting in games 1 and 2. All-out offense. Terrell Baines, that's a goaltend. As Stover gets charged for that.
Well, we'll talk about, too, if there's a timeout or subs in, we'll talk about how you defend that. Because you know what? You're going to see that Anderson high screen with their 5 guy every time. Look at it, you cut the corner, just gets it. Once you do that, you're semi-home free. But on the other side, Anderson will be getting screens constantly. So Al's getting to break. And he'll just find the shooter.
Here's Brown. Brown drives. Boy, Brown's starting to feel confident. He's getting the trust here now of Coach Spahn getting some time.
And unless you contain Anderson.
Here's Jahi back the other way. He gets the hoop and the harm. Wow, it is just punch for punch out here. It's like a heavyweight tilt.
Yeah, and you know, in my head as I'm watching, I'm trying to figure out a way what I would do as a coach to defend Anderson. And maybe this is how you do it. You just give the ball to Jahi Carson and tell him to put up 30.
Yeah.
But you're seeing it a lot more, 1 and 2 scoring a lot more towards the end of this game. It's not going to change for St. John here. So you'll see them coming down. How do you defend this Anderson screen?
Jahi now has 13 points, 9 dimes, one rebound. Make that 14 points.
And what you got to do is you got to make him a passer. So you might even send a double team. You have to keep him out of the key right here. And you'll see him come back for the basketball. They're trying to get Freeman a little bit of action.
Oh, that was good defense, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good defense. And the Storm bench jumped up like they'd won the lottery.
Look at it right here.
Yeah. So the ref, if he wants to call, Richter, his hands were on him at the very beginning. Ref didn't call that. But then you have to call that secondary foul. And that's a good professional foul. There's 5 minutes left in this game.
Unbelievable. The Riptide, they have a 2-point lead over the Storm, 100-98. Going to be a great finish. Going to take a break. Come back, folks, with more NBL playoff action right after this.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Island Storm basketball on 5 TV by Shamrock Trust, a proud partner of the Island Storm with locations in Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland. Peter Ruttgazer alongside Gord McNeely. 5:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now, we finally found out why Akeem Ellis is not in the game, because both Akeem Ellis and Lou Famatimi have been ejected from this contest for leaving the bench during the scuffle in the third quarter.
Oh, wow.
So that's the reason why.
That's from our man in Halifax, the myth, the legend, Alan April. Thanks a lot, big fella.
So we were wondering why was heading down the tunnel, and there you go. So that's a big loss there for the Storm.
Yeah, Freeman hit 1 of 2.
Here's Terry Thomas draining it.
Are you kidding? Come on. We got a basketball game. We're
101, 5:20 remaining in the fourth.
It's playoff time. NBL action. So they're going to try to get this ball back to Anderson.
Turnaround shot by Brown.
Wow, he's playing really well. The lefty did everything he could to come back to that left hand and finishes strong.
He has 13 points in this game so far, Brown.
This is a mismatch right here. AJ's got to be aggressive. Oh, not a very good pass.
Well, there's a foul in the midst of shooting. That should be 3.
It will be. What was Addison doing? Yeah, look, he's like, who's he talking to? There's nobody. It's a lonely planet after fouling. He's looking for, watch this. Shot fakes up.
Hooked him with his leg.
Yeah, and he thought about complaining, then you could just see the different thought processes in his head. Well, everybody out there is working very hard, so.
So Wack will go to the line. He'll shoot 3. Right now, Rashad Wack with 9 points. Make it 10.
Whew. This is one of the best basketball games I've seen here from the Storm and the St. John team for entertainment value. It's just been unbelievable. You can hear the gasp in here with every shot that's being made.
You know, I bumped into Joe Salerno before game 1 at a coffee shop. Had a chance to talk with him. He goes, there's no illusions here. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Didn't quite see that in games 1 and 2. We're seeing it here.
So they're trailing. That's why Commons had a shot passed up on it.
And Gabe Freeman.
And he's hitting that from the corner. Just a mildly below average shooter, but he's streaky. So once he gets going, he can hit that. So that's a big dagger there, but tons of time left in this basketball game.
Riptide by 3. Jahi tried to muscle his way in.
Jump ball's called. They said that's a Freeman did a good job, got his hands on that. And St. John's using everybody. You don't know where they're going to score from. And it's all started from this Anderson point guard play. Look at Rashad Wack is really working him into that screen.
Here's Anderson. He lost it. But they're going to say it's Riptide ball with 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Just a reminder, folks, we're back at it again tomorrow afternoon. Game number 2 p.m. Atlantic time here in Charlottetown between the Storm and the Riptide.
So I'm not sure, but are those 2 players ejected for the next game too? That's how it works in FIBA. If you get ejected, you have to sit the next game. But we'll
try to find that out. That's a major loss for the Storm. Not having Akeem Ellis in there.
Look at this penetration. Spins it. That ball's still spinning, hits the backboard, goes in. And it's had a good game here. Terry Thomas finding his shooters. Look at that form. Perfect.
If you're Joe Salerno, what are you trying to say to your team? What do you want to impart upon them here with just 3:56 remaining?
We need to keep Anderson out of the key. Okay, so he's saying to Rashad Wack. Rashad Wack is in there to defend him, but that screen is coming from Freeman. So Freeman, you're setting the screen with 2 former NBL MVPs. So it becomes very difficult to make a decision. So you have to keep both those players on the perimeter. But if you remember, Peter, Freeman just hit a 3 from the corner. So now you're just saying, okay, listen, everybody's got to step up and just defend and do something special. And the Storm are still they're basketball. It's just the St. John team has really got into a groove, and Mr. Anderson has gotten his team into a groove. So this is exactly what you want. 2 good teams going at each other in game 3 here. You got to get here tomorrow. Listen, if you're in Charlottetown watching this, it's a 2 o'clock start here tomorrow, right here in Charlottetown. you don't want to miss that game no matter what happens here.
Well, let me tell you something. For a guy that missed a quarter and a half of basketball approximately, Anthony Anderson has just been unbelievable. 25 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 point range. So,
oh my gosh.
He was resting up. He was resting up.
That's fantasy league basketball right there, numbers. Holy jumpins.
And you would think a player who's been on the bench that long would get cold and have some struggles as soon as he hit the court. He made his first shot, and he's gone on since then.
Oh, yeah, good defense there.
There's Jahi.
Oh, nice hesitation.
Jahi and a foul against Commons.
That is a world-class hesitation move on that right side, Jahi Carson. We said it after halftime. You'll start to see Jahi Carson want to take over this basketball game. No better person on the Storm team than him to do it.
Jahi was 16 points, 10 dimes, 6 of 14 from the field.
And he only had 2 points. He had a quick 2 at the end of the second quarter, and that got him on the board. But so he's got 15 points in this third and fourth quarter here.
Makes the first of 2. Hits both of them.
So look at this matchup. Rashad Wackman versus Anderson here. Key, watch for the screen. They'll run some junk action and then try to.
Here's Freeman. Richter trying to maintain him. Commons from downtown. That hit the iron. It was short.
Oh.
Brown tried to save it. Gave it right to Terry Thomas.
Yeah, good defense. Al Richter did a good job there.
A.J. Stewart, low post. He got it knocked out of his hands. Here comes Brown, back the other way. And
how can...
Wow. Brown lost the ball, but they're going to say that it went off a Storm player.
That's Mr. Stalker with the call from the weak side. You got to keep him out. Look at that defensive stance. Here comes the screen.
Over to Freeman. Good D there by Richter.
Very good defense by Richter.
Jahi back the other way.
You tighten up on everything now. All your dribbling offensive skills.
Terry Thomas inside.
Even the refs are, yeah, do you see the way?
Yeah.
No basket. I thought this was the Oscars over there. But they're excited too. They want to see a good game. But what a great pass.
So A.J. Stewart will sit down. Baines comes back in.
Yeah, no, just get the ball inbounded. You got 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Terry Thomas scoping out the situation to whack. No.
Oh, look at that.
Richter gets the rebound.
Whoa, that's a big, big rebound for that young man.
Joe Salerno wants isolation here. Here comes Jahi Carson. Just misses.
And you heard you heard almost 2,500 people gasp. But you can't beat that.
Freeman coming over to set a screen on Whack.
Look at the defense. They're doing a better job of containing that.
Shot clock, that misses. As that was Mincy.
And this game is getting to be very suspenseful.
Down to the nitty-gritty now, 156 remaining. Riptide, 106-105. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Oh. And just a little miscue there, and it'll be...
Remember what I said,
St. John
your fundamentals this
Yep.
time in the game. You can't be one-hand passing to rotate that ball. You've got to make sure your fundamentals stay locked in, and everything gets a little bit harder. And you'll see it right here. Through the legs, left hand. And the defender's there. You're passing with your offhand. It's always a little bit harder. And that's just one of those plays that you wish you had back.
It's been a very entertaining game. It's a close game. 106-105. Riptide, and you knew the Riptide were going to have a much, much better effort in game number 3. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they shot just 33% from the field. Nothing worked for them. And what was funny about that game, they get a couple of shots, get a little bit of momentum, and then it would be doused out by the great defense of the Storm. And they just could not maintain anything for any long periods of time, because I was thinking they're going to go on a run. They got to go on a run after that bad first half in game number 2, and it just never materialized.
Yeah, and what the Storm are saying right now, you're getting you had that Jahi, you play out, got to the basket, and just a little turnover here. They're doing it. They've gotten 3 or 4 stops here recently, but they've also turned it over on the other end. So continue to go to the basket. Jahi Carson time. And then everybody else, if you get Al Richter for a 3 or Rashad Wack for a 3, you hit him up. But the ball is going to be in hands because he doesn't turn it over. Vice versa for the St. John Riptide. Look, Anderson and Freeman, high screen after that. You'll see some junk stuff, but it'll be one of those 2 guys that has it in their hands.
So here we go, folks. 149 remaining in regulation. 106, 105. Riptide in front of the Storm.
And they're going to try to bring Freeman off this.
Here's Commons. Baines trying to defend him. Commons in the paint. And a nice one-handed floater there.
Yeah, there's tons of time left. 134. You're going to get at least 4 shots at the basket.
Here's Jahi. Defers to Terry Thomas. Almost lost it.
That's it. You don't want to take too much time here. Get something going to the basket.
Here's Jahi for 3. Yes! Jahi Carson knocking it down hard. And 108.
Peter, this is exciting. Oh my gosh, because there was no room in the keys, man. They clogged up there waiting for him. So big shot by that young man.
Here's Commons with the ball.
Yeah, he
now
just
under
hit
a
one.
minute. Baines trying to defend him. Mency. A little push on Jahi Carson.
They have to see that push.
Wow, they're not calling that? That's not a charge?
That is. We don't talk. Watch this. Oh, good camera work. Here, you'll see it here. Watch Jahi on this right. You see him at the ball gets here. Watch this. He's going to move to his right. Sliding. Push off with the right hand. But it is these players. They know that in the last minute of play, you don't see that call very often. So you have to just let it go. It wasn't called. Just play on. So what they're going to do now, the Storm have 52 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to get at least 2 or 3 shots. You don't want to run too much of the shot clock down. Just get something going to the basket. And then after that, listen, St. John's going to come back down. And then what do? Do you foul? Do you start to get into this kind of situation? I don't think so right away. I think they're gonna try to keep everybody on the perimeter and try to get a good shot and then be done with it. So there's a lot of time left, and these coaches are talking about different scenarios and situations. But one thing's for sure is Jahi Carson's going to catch the ball, but everybody else has to keep playing, keep moving, keep rotating, and then offensive rebound and try to get 1 or 2 shots up at it.
There was a little period of time, might have been in the second quarter, where the offense really got stagnant, really stationary. So you want movement here. You don't want the other 4 guys just watching Jahi and depending on him.
Yeah, exactly, because you're going to see their big players for St. John just kind of stay at home. So everybody's got to be ready for a pass and shot. Like Terrell Baines can spread the floor. Rashad Wack can hit a 3. So
the inbounds gets to the Terry Thomas. Here's Jahi.
So there's the isolation. Watch the rest of the players.
There's Jahi taking on Mincy. Baines from the corner. Iron.
Yeah, right call.
And that's going to be Storm ball.
Yeah, and we've seen him hit that shot. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Be ready to shoot the ball. Terrell Baines was. He just shot a little bit long.
So now 36.5 seconds remaining. Another timeout called here. Riptide by 2.
That's it. You can penetrate. This is called penetrate and pit. And then your big guy has it. So the lanes broke down for Jahi, made the right decision. And that's staying Island basketball because of Al Richter, and they're fighting for that basketball.
Now, in that situation there, everybody was stationary, though.
Yeah, and so it gets to a point because they ran action early on. So what Joe Salerno did is they ran action. Terry Thomas caught it up top, and then they went to Jahi Carson. So once it goes in his hands, it's either isolation or they'll bring Terrell Baines up to set the screen for him. So, but they didn't that time because there wasn't enough time in the shot clock. So, but that's a good question. Salerno's over there running. He's diagramming up an out-of-bounds play. They're going to get it on the baseline. He's diagramming something that's going to get them the ball. And then this time I think you're going to see Terrell Baines come up and set a screen for Jahi Carson on this play.
So 36.5 seconds remaining. Both these teams in the playoffs limping a little bit. They both lost 5 in a row. And St. John able to win the opening game of this series, 101-96. They pretty much had it their own way for 3 quarters. Storm came on in the 4th quarter and made a game of it. And then in game 2, a Storm 103-79 victory against St. John. The Storm shot 52.6% from the field in game number 2. Here's Jahi Carson.
Didn't bite. What?
Carson. That hits the iron. Loose ball. Terry Thomas has it. 29 seconds remaining. Jahi Carson wants to drive, kicks it out. Terry Thomas for 3. No good. Loose ball. Who's it going to be?
Whoa,
it's going to be St. John ball.
Wow.
Wow, they had a couple of real good looks and just couldn't it.
Yeah, you keep playing very good looks. So the Storm are going to make offensive, defensive substitutions.
17.1 seconds remaining.
So they need to foul because they're not going to get it back or else the shot clock will expire. So you're going to have to, you don't want Anderson to catch it. Mency's their best foul shooter.
And Mency gets fouled.
That's exactly, you want to give yourself a shot to win the basketball game, and that's exactly what the Storm and the Riptide are doing.
They had a couple of real good looks there and just couldn't hit it. 16 seconds remaining. 2-point lead for St. John.
He's looking for the foul.
To Brown. Brown gets pushed out. Oh, that's going to be Storm ball.
Wow.
Brown is saying that he got pushed out.
I was watching his toes, and it was awful close before, Thomas came over there. So great replay. Watch this. Watch his toes. Oh, I can't see it for the guy in the no.
He got pushed. He got pushed. And Storm got away with one there.
Didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, it's just showing us that's a charades move. It means I was pushed.
So now 12.2 seconds left in regulation. Rip by 2, 110-108. What an entertaining game here this evening in Charlottetown. And they're back at it again tomorrow afternoon, game number 4. That'll be a 2 p.m. Atlantic time start right here on 5TV1.
Well, this place is really, you'll see the last little bit of, look at this. This 3 was for basically almost a win. Terry Thomas, beautiful rebound. Oh, great camera work. And then you got the isolate. See the screen there? We talked about that. And then finds the lane. It's the shooter. You can't ask for anything more. Look at the release. Just hit the front of the rim 1 or 2 more inches, and that ball is dropped.
Ball's in.
So, I mean, and you got a few of those different looks. So that's what the fun, that's how come these series are so fun. The place is on their feet here. 12 seconds left.
Everybody on their feet here in Charlottetown. Here we go. Oh, and Al Richter turned the ball over. And now we've got Al Richter and Freeman get tangled up.
And coming off that screen, Carson thought he got hit, and he just put his shoulders back. And, well, I mean, he did get hit, but the refs didn't call it. Slowed him down enough. You watch here. Oh, that's a little headlock. Pulled her down.
Let's see now.
That is
foul against Al Richter.
Oh my.
Or is it? Coach Spahn is very animated on the St. John side.
What's the call?
Yeah, I'm confused.
But listen, if that foul was against Al Richter, that was a hell of a play because they were getting a layup. You know, so Al Richter might have just saved the day on that for a few different reasons. I don't know if we're going to break or we can talk about those. But it was a bad situation. Freeman pulled him down. If Al's going to get the call, it slowed everything down because St. John really had a wide open layup to put him up 4 with 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
Would have ended the game.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get the ball at center where you can foul them, put them to the line. If they go 1 or 2 or miss both, you're going to get the ball back. Chance to do something down the other end.
And right now, this St. John team not shooting very well. Well, okay, I guess. 68.7% from the free throw line. Not great.
No, not great at this level for sure.
And, you know, they were one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league this season. And then they've had some problems in this series at the charity stripe. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good play by Al Richter. I mean, Carson was getting bumped on that from the beginning. So, I mean, he really got hit pretty hard, and he knew he was going to. There was some action. There's a kind of an X cut, and then what happens is Carson comes straight up to catch the ball, and he was getting bumped, and one of those bumps caused him to slow his momentum down. Al Richter passes the ball in. St. John, they go the other way. So you cannot expect a call no matter, even if it's a clothesline, if it's an elbow, if it's UFC style, you have to keep playing through that stuff. I mean, we've seen everything tonight.
Island Storm leading in the rebounding 43-37.
Okay, look, they're going to go for a steal quick. They're going to go for a quick steal here. Bump, be physical because the refs will let this go. Here it comes. Here. 5-second call.
Took too long inbounding the ball.
Wow, and that might, you know, was that 5 seconds? We'd have to count it back, but woo! Listen, Storm are going to get it. 9.7 seconds left. Lots of time left. 2-point game. Here it comes. No timeouts. Let's go. Let's play, folks. Me against you. Here we go.
Jahi Carson puts it up. Bucket. 2.9 seconds remaining.
It's not over.
Brown throws it up, and we are going to overtime.
NBL action.
Unbelievable. And there's Coach Spahn. He doesn't like the call. And Coach Spahn has got to be careful he doesn't get teed up here.
Wow. Well, this is one of the greatest games, playoff games we've seen here. Watch this. Look at this young man. Goes hard. You know he's going to get contact. And just the composure to stick with it. Yes. He knows he's got to get back. Charlottetown loves Jahi Carson, I'm telling you.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. 110. Riptide and the Storm. We're heading to overtime. Back with more in Charlottetown right after this.
Being part of an Easter Seals camp has really shaped who I am today. My dream is to see every kid in Canada living with a disability go to an Easter Seals camp so they can experience what I have experienced. see ability in disability. See the difference? Be the difference.
Text Easter to 45678. Make your $10 donation today.
Welcome back to Charlottetown. What a night of NBL Canada action here this evening. A 110-110 tie right now between the Riptide and the Island Storm. This game heading to over. And here we go.
Yeah, and just before that, you had Freeman talking to the coach, Joe Salerno. They weren't making dinner dates.
So this game heating up. Here's Baines. Ritger drives, floater. It's good. Al Ritger. One of this game for the Island Storm.
Without a doubt. And he's guarding. He's done a good job of guarding Gabe Freeman, too. And listen, the coaches, the players, you think that they don't care? Everybody is in this basketball game. Emotion is so strong on both these teams. They want this pretty badly.
Al Richter has 25 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 7 of 12 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, and 4 dimes in the game. So he's picked up right where he left off in game number 2.
Great stats, and that was a big shot by Chris Commons. Can't get the second one.
Loose ball, Baines.
And then again, Al Richter was battling Gabe Freeman down there and kept it alive. Look at the speed.
Jahi Carson, yes, lays it in.
And that was turn the corner on Mency, and just, whoa, you're not going to get that this time of the game.
Anderson kicks it out, and that's Mency hitting the tray.
With the answer back, man.
Tied at 114 apiece. Jahi Carson, he goes for a tumble. Oh, Jahi Carson is holding his ankle.
Man.
And he's limping a bit. Good to see that he got up.
And that'll be Mency's.
Yeah, Mency's fouled out.
Yeah, and that was, you saw the end of it. Mency had a great game, kept him on the board, but we're going to see how that ankle is. But that take was so good and strong for so many different reasons. That was such a professional take. St. John knew he was coming, and Jahi Carson just kept going and just wanted that so badly. This kid's got a heart the size of Texas. I've never been to Texas, but I think it's pretty big.
As for Mency, 17 points, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from point range, so he fouls out of this game. 3:58 remaining in overtime. We're tied at 114. It's been back and forth.
Look at that.
And Jahi Carson gets knocked down. And that will be...
I got it. Terry Thomas couldn't touch because it was in the backcourt.
Okay.
So there was some screening
ball.
action, and Jahi Carson's saying it too. He's like, I can't come off that screen because guys are playing with their hands, and that's what he was talking about there.
Commons with the floater.
See the physicality. They're being physical with Jahi Carson. You'd have to really watch the screen action completely to see that.
Here's Jahi. And Jahi will go to the line. And Jahi, he is pumped up.
And he's frustrated. And because if you'd almost need a camera on him the whole way. If you'd watch from where he starts, and he's got to run 17 feet before he catches the ball, he's getting fouled and getting pushed the whole way along there. And that's kind of maybe what they're talking about. But that's the physicality of this game. And 48 minutes, these professional players go through it. But it happens to everybody, and you've got to make sure that you just keep playing through that.
Jahi's got 25 points, 10 dimes on the night.
So 23 in the second half. And the reason why I'm talking about with Jahi is that the other teams know he's their best player. So on the scout report, they say, be physical with him, make it tough for him.
He makes the first of 2. And now it's tied at 116 apiece. Crowd asking for some D. See if they can get it here. Campbell.
Yeah, Menzies out with 6 fouls, so.
Here's Campbell.
Talking through that. They didn't switch. Look at that.
A.J. Stewart trying to defend Commons. Commons loses it. Shot clock was running down and ran out on St.
And that was Carson who got a hand in there on the big guy and just enough to deflect the ball. But like this is where St. John lost a point guard. Like is Anderson tired? Are they do they have enough gas to finish this game?
Jahi Carson. He wants.
And look at Alex Campbell. It's like his shadow. You know,
Stewart to come over to set that screen. In the corner for Al Richter. And Al draining it. Al Richter is a ball of fire here this evening.
Isn't that fitting that he hits a corner 3 to put him up 3 in overtime? Oh.
And that's going to be a foul.
And that's
A.J.
Anderson.
Stewart, I think.
Yeah. And that's Anderson. That beautiful penetrating pitch. You see the footwork? He's ready. His feet are ready. Pointed at the rim. Perfect rotation on the ball. I mean, this is a career game for this kid.
Guy that playing in his first pro season. You got Al Richter. You got Brad States. You got 2 guys. First time playing with the big boys, and they have fit in very well in this lineup for the Island Storm.
Yeah. And I know Al Richter's family's watching. And they're very, very proud of that young man. So
having a great game here in game number 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal series. Here's Terry Thomas. And Terry Thomas is fouled.
I didn't hear the whistle blow, so that's good. That was good penetration by Thomas.
So now 119, 118. Let's see here.
He cuts the corner. Yeah, that's. I mean, when people look at the fouls, they often look up top, but you have to. I look at the hips first. So if hip to hip, and you can just bump somebody out of the way, that's a foul.
Oh, Thomas misses the first.
So the ball's going to go in Anderson's hands after this. Bring it up. Good second shot.
Terry Thomas makes the second. 120, 118, 222.
So they're screening with Freeman again. This is very typical, and they do this very well. Finds the shooter.
Commons swings it over here for Freeman.
Freeman wants to take Richter. Richter's good at the ass.
Oh, good D by Richter. And now Jahi's going to hold it up. Here's Jahi. He'll take his time.
And you see those dribbling skills? Like, people...
and
what?
The floater. And Jahi pumped up, and he's getting his crowd pumped up.
We need to get a replay of that. That was a fit. Look at this. Watch. This is such a nice play because, watch, he doesn't use the backboard. Sees the defense coming. He's going to use the backboard. Then he shifts in the air and puts it up. That is world-class basketball right there.
That's a major teardrop there by Jahi Carson. So now 122, 118, 149 remaining in this overtime frame.
What a player. That is, because if he would have used the backboard on that, Freeman would have got to that ball. And then he saw him coming and then pull back and put it straight up in the air. It just, you just
to have
can't
the
teach
athleticism
that.
and then the basketball IQ to do that is just simply phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, Gabe Freeman, who's 6'6" and jumps about twice that high. So, I mean, listen, you got a 4-point lead now. This game is not over. So St. John, you've got to do something to contain it. This is Anderson time. And you expect him to do a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive. The Storm have done a good job the last 7 minutes of doing their best they can to contain him. For the St. John fans right now, Gabe Freeman cannot pop out and dribble backwards and then take somebody off the dribble. Get him in closer to the basket, dump it down to him, and let him go to work.
So right now, St. John shooting 57.1% from the field. Storm shooting 50% from the field. So that's kind of what we expected to eventually happen after games 1 and 2, and it's happening tonight. Both teams shooting the ball very well. Two teams that know how to create offense, and you're seeing it here this evening on 5TV1.
Here's the screen we're talking about. Good, fights through it. Freeman catches it. Foul before the shot. Out in the floor. He points to the floor. So, and that's the thing, is that Gabe Freeman can't be dribbling the ball around. If he wants to put it on the floor, it's a sweep and go. Not too many people are going to stop him with that. So he's going to go to the line and get rewarded, and St. John stops the clock.
Jahi Carson telling everybody to settle down. Just relax here. Gabe Freeman hits the first one.
Yeah, if we had Jahi Carson's skills, we'd be telling everybody the same thing, too. I got it.
And he makes the second one.
2-point game with the ball. 1:40 left in the shot clock, or the game clock.
Gabe Freeman now with 19 points. Here's Terry Thomas. He wants to drive. The hoop and the harm, or they wave it off.
Did they wave it off? No, that's one shot. I didn't think they waved it off. Woo!
He does get the hoop and the harm. Had a chance to make the three-point play.
Watch this. Watch the crossover. Expecting him to go off that screen. Once he cuts that corner, and he's concentrating hard, so tough to stop. But St. John's got a lot of time left.
Oh, and he put that short.
So there's Rashad Wack, who's done a good job.
There's Freeman. Loose ball, and it's going to be Storm ball.
So they start to manage time right now. You got a 4-point lead. You don't need to shoot early in the shot clock.
Here's Rashad Wack. He wants to settle it down just a bit. Takes a look up at the clock. Wack off the window and in. That's a big bucket for the Island Storm.
Oh, man. And he's doing it defensively and offensively, but more defensively today.
52 seconds left in the game.
You can't get that call. You got to get back up play.
Here's Freeman hitting the tray.
And, Rashad, that was a foul, but you're not going to get it in overtime with 48 seconds left to go. You got to expect you're just going to get hammered and leave it all out there.
So 126, 123 for the Storm, with 48 seconds remaining in overtime. And here's Gabe Freeman, wide open, sets, and drains it.
Yeah, and I mean, that was because Rashad Wack, he did get hammered. There's no point in complaining about it because the refs haven't called that both ways. And you're not going to get it right now. So you know you're going to get – watch, here's the screen. Great job in the – look, boom. And then, and so it doesn't get up, and then Freeman hits a 3 on this. Oh, my God. Can you believe that this crew is, like, unbelievable.
You see it exactly there. Yeah, good camera work. Good job by the truck.
If I asked them to show me, put up a T-bone steak – it'd probably be up there in seconds. Listen, 48 seconds left to go. Storm up 3 with the ball. This is not St. John's going to get it back twice, I do believe. So Jahi Carson, everybody's playing well. They're trusting each other. Terry Thomas had a 3-point play going to the basket. Rashad Wack. So keep that ball moving. And when it comes time, but it's going to go to one guy, Jahi Carson, spread the floor, and go to the basket.
Just let him do his work.
Yeah.
Jahi Carson.
And it's because
29 points now in this game.
His handle's so tight. When he has it, he doesn't lose it. So, and that says a great deal about his skill. So, I mean, the control is that's a hard hit. You know what's going to happen.
Terry Thomas, Jahi Carson says, hold up, guys. Let's play it cool here.
Nice play by Salerno there. And this is a nice matchup. Anderson, look at the bumping. He gets around the corner.
And a foul called.
There's no doubt about it. You pick about 6 times where he got fouled on those plays.
So Jahi will head to the line.
Man, these two are competing. Watch this.
There's a reach in right there, right?
One.
And
Boom,
right there.
Right there, yeah. You can see it. It's his elbow. He got his elbow.
Anderson got him twice.
It was good defense. Anderson versus Jahi Carson. I would, I'd watch that matchup all day long.
So now 29.4 seconds remaining. Jahi's going to go to the line here.
And this is a good game to watch. If you want to learn much about basketball, rewatch this game because there's a lot of really good stuff and physical play. And this game had absolutely everything in it today.
2-possession game now. (27) 29.4 seconds remaining in the overtime frame. And Jahi makes both of them.
St. John's got to go a little faster here. They want to get a shot within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock.
Storm up by 5. 3 is no good. Terry Thomas gets it. And he gets fouled.
Yeah. Wow, what a basketball game. You know, this fight from the St. John team, it says a great deal about their character right from their coach on down. I'm very, very impressed.
So the crowd coming alive here in Charlottetown, everybody on their feet. And the Storm 18.7 away from going up in this series 2-1.
And the Storm did everything they could. St. John had an amazing third quarter. They stuck in there. They grinded. Al Richter, Jahi Carson, Terry Thomas, Rashad Wack. I mean, you go on and on. They really did this collectively as a team. And it was a really good basketball game to watch. I mean,
Gabe Freeman, Gabe Freeman still talking to the official. And physical, you were about to say that, I believe. Yeah, very physical game, huh?
So physical. If you could break down this game and you want to watch this, you go back and just watch the fourth quarter over, you're going to see things that we were talking about in here, the contact, and look at certain players, how they get hit and hit and hit, and they just keep coming back on both sides.
Some real hard screens in this game, too.
Yeah, technical foul. Technical foul now. Yeah.
So that's Commons. Gets called for the technical. And a little bit of frustration sitting in here for St. John.
Yeah. On that play, I don't know what they were arguing because Terry Thomas, the last play that happened was the Commons took a 3. Terry Thomas grabbed the rebound, they fouled. So there's nothing really to argue about on that play. So they must be talking about past plays. But the replay, luxury of showing all the fans at home the replay, and you can start to see, you can break down those foul calls. You can see that Terry Thomas sideline play. Like it's just things like that you can't see here, and we can get a good sense of what's happening.
So now Wack will take it on the side for the Storm. Terry Thomas. They'll just play catch here and just hold things up.
And listen, if you're on this island tomorrow, you get here tomorrow at 2 o'clock to watch this team play because this was a phenomenal game. It throws the ball up to the rafters. Carson's pumped. Should be.
There you have it. The Island Storm win Game 3 of this Eastern Division semifinal series. 130 to 123. And now Gabe Freeman and a couple of players. That's Commons, isn't it?
Commons came back onto the floor after the
And now
he's in his
Coach Spahn wants his players to get off the court here. And Gabe Freeman, he still wants to talk.
And the thing is, with these officials, they're brought in from all over. All right, so there's no favoritism here. They're just calling the game.
Our buddy Adam Detjen called the game number 2. And there you see, that is a happy Storm team.
They're praising. That's Coach Salerno's young man.
And
him and Darcy, yeah.
That team going to head to the dressing room, and hopefully nothing flares up here.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have it. The Island Storm win this one. Game number 3 of the Eastern Division semifinal over St. John. 130-123. Brief thoughts, and then we'll
just an amazing NBL playoff game. I thought both teams played hard. It was physical. There was a lot of good basketball plays. Look, we got 130 points on the board to 123. That's a lot of points. It had everything in here. This league is absolutely out of this world great. Get out and support your teams.
So game number 4 series comes your way tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Atlantic time on 5 TV1. The Island Storm have a chance to advance to the Atlantic Division Final. So on behalf of Gord McNeely and the entire 5 TV1 crew that did a brilliant job here tonight, I'm Peter Ruckazer saying good night from Charlottetown.